Hey, everybody, this is Eric Stahl.
And I'm Daryl Scott.
Welcome to the auto podcast that loves a good hill climb.
On this episode of Throwin Wrenches,
we talk old and new cars running up those hills.
Elon and Zuck down for a steel cage match.
3 more amazing contributions are coming for the Cars of the Week garage.
And Gabe is here.
Gabe's here.
Boo.
All that and more on this episode of Throwin Wrenches.
Let's go, girls.
It's Gabe on guitar, right?
Well, I thought we were past the Shania, but apparently Gabe brought it back. Is that what we're doing here?
It's retro.
Sometimes you feel like a woman. Just saying.
Just a quick question. You did get guitar, right?
Yeah, I bought a guitar and a bass guitar from literally like a block up from Ford's Toyota.
Yeah?
Yeah, right up the hill.
Oh.
Are you taking lessons?
No, I fiddled around for like 3 days and I haven't touched them since.
Yeah, I think there's a YouTube video you can watch. You can play guitar in five hours.
Right.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that guy Esteban teaches you.
Yeah.
You know what? I would love for Gabe to play our next theme song.
I think so.
Okay,
Let's do it.
I'll do it.
I'll write it. All right.
Good.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening and enjoying the fun of the show. Make sure you send us an email, info@throwinwrenches.com, or post a review on iTunes to be heard all around the world. I'll be honest with you, Daryl.
Yeah.
Been a little busy lately. I
You
haven't
have?
checked the reviews.
You know how many new reviews have happened since?
How many, Daryl?
Absolutely none.
Abso-smurfly nothing?
Yeah. Abso-smurfly is nothing is right. And it's not for lack of trying. We've tried to solicit. We've tried to pull the reviews and pry them from your cold hands, and we can't seem to get them. But that's fine.
This is why I can't let you two do a show together. I mean, this
Is
is
that
really,
why?
this is what happens. Yeah,
We don't pander enough for
I
reviews.
trust you two to hold the show together.
Yeah.
and then look what happens. Nothing, no production. Okay,
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
yeah, so,
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
There we go. Yeah, that's what it was. I mean, we tried. I mean, we're doing our best here, man.
I mean, maybe we don't want the reviews because we've been a little lackluster on the production lately.
We have, but I will say this. The best way to suppress negative reviews, according to Reputation Management,
Exactly.
you know what I'm talking about.
Pump it up, baby.
Pump, get it pumped.
Get all the employees and their family to do those reviews. Hey, everybody, we're a little bit low. We need everybody to have their mom do some reviews on Google.
Yeah. Those always. By the way, you can never tell, right?
Jeremy's such a nice boy.
And all the reviews are like within a 2-day span.
Yeah, that never. Nobody sees through.
Google doesn't know.
They don't know.
It's fine.
Scotty don't know.
That.
Anyway, Daryl Scott. Do you know about Daryl Scott? Daryl Scotty knows. My co-host doesn't collect classic cars as much as he collects friends with classic cars in need. Whether you need to bring a trailer or awaken a classic beauty from 6 years of slumber with a kiss, or build a car, he's always on the call. He has less free time than he has non-running projects. He's Daryl Scott.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
With a kiss, huh?
Yeah.
Does that work?
Is that like Cinderella or
It's not
Snow
in the
White?
repair manual that I've ever seen.
Sleeping Beauty? What is it?
It might be Snow White.
It might be.
Well,
I don't-
Sleeping Beauty, she probably needed a kiss, too.
I've tried, but it turns out the only thing that happens if you start kissing your car is you end up on one of those like shows on the TLC network.
Oh, my 600-pound... No, wait.
No, it's My Secret. Was it My Secret Addiction?
Oh, yeah, My Secret Obsession.
Yeah,
Were you drinking transmission fluid on the side?
It's either that or you're eating couch cushions. One of those two things. For those of you who don't know, my co-host, when raccoons attack the family homestead,
Allegedly.
my co-host is ready with a solution, if you will. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. When weather cancels the local Cars and Coffee, well, he makes his own Cars and Coffee in a Bass Pro parking lot. And when the local donut shop typically sells out, well, he puts his order in the night before, and he sets his alarm for 1 hour earlier. He's the king of all donut media. He's Mr. Eric Stahl.
I see what you did there. Very clever. Very clever. We'll get to that Cars and Coffee. That was a good fun.
Okay, good.
And if you don't know Gabe Casey, well, Gabe's also here. Thanks for joining us, Gabe.
Voting present.
Yeah, prison.
That's
Prison accounted for.
how lackluster my pre-production work was. I did not write a snappy little thing for
Well,
you.
it's supposed to be a surprise, and then you like worked it in earlier. Blow everything up.
I mean,
tell
Regan's
ya.
been here while I've written it while he sat there, but yeah, I don't know.
Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah,
Eric's,
that's a lot.
by the way, your internet is better than usual. So I'm just going to say your internet speed is fine. But
Where's this going?
well, you
That was the
can.
most lackluster compliment I've ever heard. It's better than it. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
We do a shared. Okay, for the folks at home, this isn't video, so I'll just explain. We do a shared Google Doc, and we keep everything like bullet points, and we have an outline. We try to follow this strictly.
you're really raising the curtain there.
I am. I am. Do you guys remember like back in the day when you had AOL?
I do. I remember those days because
You've got mail.
Yeah.
By the way, that guy's an Uber driver now.
is he?
The guy who did the guy. Yes, I don't know why I know this. Probably because I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah. Probably.
Probably. The guy who did the You've got mail. Welcome. That guy.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way,
So the guy that said 7 words, go
Yeah.
on.
goodbye. Yeah. He is an Uber driver in like Nebraska or something stupid like that. I'm sorry. Not that Nebraska's stupid.
Living his best life, possibly. Maybe he's in the rat race and got really tired of it and said, "You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back home and I'm going to live the life that I always dreamed, just peaceful, and probably be demeaned by strangers, hundreds of miles away.
The fame was too much for him.
Don't even know me."
Yeah. I used to be in technology. It was such a racket. Fires up a cigarette.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go, kid?
Vape pen.
Yeah,
But
vape pen. He's driving the Prius. No, you know what? I wish him. God bless. I wish him
It's
the best.
obvious that you do wish him
Yeah.
the best.
He's honestly probably happier and more fulfilled than we are.
What's wrong with you?
A lot.
Why are we even talking?
We should
TikTok.
probably follow
TikTok.
Yes.
And what is the handle at TikTok, Mr. Scott?
at Throwin Wrenches.
Yeah.
You can check that out. Don't have that many followers.
You got lots of videos. Though. You might have a video for every follower. Like
I
every
do.
week.
You know what the most popular video I have?
This is a trap.
Is it your dog?
No.
Okay. Just check.
Is it a gym?
It's my brother backing his 85 Cavalier Type 10 convertible out of my parents' garage.
I think that day
That's it.
you were filled with such vitriol and hatred because I think you wanted that car, didn't you? Or is that a different car?
No. The one my mom has is
Yeah.
the blue one. I really, really, really love. But yeah, no, this one was different.
Okay,
But,
all right.
yeah.
But you have such a love for the affection for those cars. Like, people could probably hear you seething
Yeah.
underneath, that you don't have that car.
No, my brother's he gave it a good home on a farm in the
Okay.
country. No, but it's funny because it's like
It's out of pasture.
it's got like
like
16
an old horse.
Gonna saw off its hooves.
racehorse.
It's glue now.
It's Elmer's
the
glue.
car's glue.
So bad. No, it's got like 16 million views, and it's just like some random thing I
Wait,
just shot.
16 million?
It's something stupid. Whatever it is.
China just inflates all the numbers.
You think so?
Yeah, they got too many people.
It might be.
I gotta look at your keywords. I'm gonna start using those for all my videos.
Hashtag hustle. Hashtag.
I want to make that 28-cent residual
Hashtag
check.
backing
Should.
out.
Yeah. How much have you made so far in your check?
0. I was a business account for 2 days, and then I realized they limited all the stuff, including the music you can use and all this. And I'm like,
the Forts account, I can't put any like real music to. It's stupid.
dumb. It's so when you get to actually put a post. Put a TikTok out there in the world.
You put a tick on the talk.
Yeah, the
tick
hip
at
of
the
the habit of the yeah. So that sounded like the choices you have are all terrible, like worse than cartoon music.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. It's like Muzak, but for TikTok.
Ding, 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 ding. Everything's like Western and cartoon and like
Yeah. I
even
did a car
people-
wash one for my little ad with a guy spraying. It was like boop, 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 boop. Like, that's great. This fits the mood perfectly.
This is going to get so much engagement.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not even funny. And then after 2 days, you're like, I'm going to delete this.
And even if they said pay for it, if they said to do this, it costs you $5. Use a real song. I'd be like, all right, I'll pay the $5. I don't care. But I don't think there's an option for me to even do that, is there?
If there is, I haven't figured it out. And Gabe won't get on the platform, so I can't ask him for advice. Which death?
TikTok is death. You're slowly or quickly killing your brain.
Do you know how many hours a month Americans spend?
I know how many hours a month you spend, and it's terrible.
Well,
bad.
it's probably as many as I spend on my Instagram, so I'm just as guilty.
850 hours a month.
What?
850
What?
hours.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
On average?
It tells you that?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I didn't. No, it doesn't tell me that.
Okay.
That's a compilation. It's a slide deck I saw.
I bet you're on it 2 hours a day minimum.
Oh, okay, so your
Be
iPhone,
honest.
Your
Look at your
iPhone,
face.
So you don't have an iPhone.
You're probably
you,
right.
You don't have an iPhone either, do you?
No, I'm
So I
terrible.
get the screen time alert every day, or every week, every Sunday.
Yeah.
I won't tell you how much my screen time is. It's too much.
Is it in the double digits
It's hours a day.
per day?
Yeah.
Like how much? Okay. We're among friends and a couple hundred people, 1,000 people listening. How many hours do you spend?
If you had to guess,
A day? Hours?
and so
4.5.
Yeah, I'd say 3.7.
it's 4.1 or 4.2.
So we're on both ends.
And that's
yeah.
live screen. So good job.
Clink.
You guys are on it.
Yeah.
And I listen to podcasts on the way into work and the way home. So I wonder how much of that time is chewed up there. And then lunch hour, I'll listen to
Well, podcasts shouldn't count. You're just
they
streaming
do
media.
but I'll have the screen open,
Right,
and
right,
some of them
right.
are video and stuff like that. So
But I wouldn't consider that phone time.
it still
is what I'm
counts as
saying.
screen time.
Yeah, well, they're
Right.
wrong.
And all the hours you're on Tinder and Grindr and everything else.
Yeah.
So, real quick,
I don't even want to make a snappy rebuttal. I mean, that's
Buy
kidding.
local
Let-
raccoons in
is-
your area.
yeah.
hold on. Is this the pre-show or the real show?
no, that's the real show. We
Okay.
should maybe talk about our sponsor.
Thank you.
Our super generous sponsor over the
Yeah.
last couple of years. Yeah. Fort's Toyota, that's all the people cheering for him right now.
That's right.
You know, Fort's Toyota is a new and used car dealership in North Peak, Illinois. They like to say they're 15 minutes from anywhere in the Tri-County area here in central Illinois. You know what, though, folks? Everybody knows that secret because the used car inventory is down. We've been selling cars like hotcakes.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, if you don't know, I work at Fort's Toyota, so there's no secrets here at this table, gentlemen. We have new cars arriving daily. Had a couple Camrys show up this week. Got some new Grand Highlanders. Pretty cool.
Are those pretty slick?
Actually, the first one came in plain Jane. Normally, when we get a new car, they come in like all dressed up with everything.
Yeah.
It's like the most expensive version of the car. Our first one was probably the most generic one we've ever gotten. I was like shocked by how plain Jane
You got
it
the
is.
runt.
We did. It's kind of weird. But our second one came in today, a white one. Gorgeous.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, it's cool.
I won't tell Sarah about that. Also, you guys have a Tundra right now that's kind of stripped down, and it's the newer body style, revamped Tundra, turbo,
Yeah.
really nice rig, and it's affordable.
Oh.
It is affordable.
Dude, you're never getting rid of your 5.7, are you?
That's another story. But anyways, if you're in the market for a new Tundra
Yeah.
and looking for one that isn't like a what's the big one? What's the big dog? Capstone?
Capstone's like the dressed up fancy one with
Yeah.
the big 25-inch tires.
It's beautiful.
But the Pros and the 1794s, those are kind of the combination of nice truck but work truck. Yeah, so we got all that stuff.
Good stuff. Check them out.
Yeah, new inventory's coming in daily. So and they keep a board now in the service department showing all the cars coming in because it's literally come to that point where if you want something, we may have it coming in the future, next week or two, or the next month. So we're letting you know and get your name on it.
Yeah. Toyota-Pekin.com. Definitely check them out. Do like I do. Just bookmark them and check their inventory daily because there's some cool stuff that pops up.
And now that I'm back to work, check out the Instagram, check out the Facebook at Fort's Toyota.
Are you on Threads? Is Fort's Toyota on
Oh,
Threads?
that was a conversation for later. Fort's is on Threads. And there's actually a video on Threads from Fort's Toyota.
Gabe, are you on
How
Threads?
progressive is that?
Is Threads just new TikTok?
No.
No.
It's
no.
better. It's for people who hate Elon Musk to be on Twitter.
Right.
Is that what it is, basically?
Oh, great, because I don't do Twitter, so
No,
I'm not.
It's Twitter for people who don't want to hear about politics and news.
Supposedly.
For like
But it's
a
really
month
just
and a half.
It's really just people who hate Elon Musk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
So you can also follow us
Fort's
on
Toyota.
Threads
Yeah.
at Throwin Wrenches
What
or
an ad. All right. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We're 38 minutes into the show, and we're just now getting to the Patreon subscribers.
it's fine. 17, but it's fine.
All right. Patreon subscribers have been the backbone of this dealership. Listen to me. To this show for the last couple of years. And you know what? I apologize in the pre-show for the lack of production, and they know how special they are and how much it means to me. So check out that pre-show. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you got a special 120 minutes of I think it was a good talk. For folks who don't know, I would imagine most everybody listening to the show do know. My daughter was very sick and passed this last couple weeks, and we've been going through all that. We spent a lot of time on the Patreon pre-show talking about that, which I really wanted to do, and I think it was a good conversation. So if you're a Patreon subscriber or you're an Apple's iTunes Premium subscriber, you'll get a hold of that. I apologize for any tears, but I think it was a good show, and it was a good time. And we did finish it off on a high note about how I got in trouble for going to a thrift sale, right?
Yeah,
Is that what it was?
them nozzles.
I got nozzles.
Well, there was also that. There was also And just, I want to take a moment to acknowledge, on behalf of everybody else who helps make this program possible, our thoughts, of course, always with you guys and the family. For those who hadn't followed along, planetstall.com, you can kind of read and get a synopsis. But
Thank you. I wasn't even going to plug it because I didn't think about it, but I spilled my guts online, so you can read all about it. And certainly all the listeners of this show, whether they're Patreon or not, super supportive. And I compared people like, oh, you got support, you got friends, you got help. I'm like, I have a friggin' redwood tree of rings of support around. I mean, seriously, the layers of support my family had through this whole last year with my daughter's sickness. And this podcast just one of those aspects of that ring of support. So, and you two guys especially, thank you.
Hey. This is
non-solicited.
Hold on. We do have some beers here. We have some
right.
refreshments.
One clink.
Clink.
All right,
There we go.
good. You can raise a glass at your home or wherever you're listening. If you're driving, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the cops will see you if you pull your beer up above the window.
There might be
That's legal advice.
some legality there.
And you can follow my Instagram too at Planet Stall if you want to see what was going on over the last year as far as through my Instagram eyes. All right, so iTunes Premium has been kind of a new thing. I got a couple subscribers on there. Again, apologies to you folks. I know you spent money for a subscription on that. We're going to get back into high gear here and get you some premium content on the backside. So keep tuning in. We appreciate you iTunes folks. It is new. We're figuring it out, so bear with us.
Yeah, and I'm not even an Apple guy, and I kind of know what it is, but not really. But that's fine. That's fine. I'll just be here with my BlackBerry. My BlackBerry Pearl.
My son says that's like one of the best movies that ever came out in the last year, too. BlackBerry.
Yeah?
Yeah, so we may have to have. Do you even know what a BlackBerry is, Gabe?
Yeah, because they were the only one with like the government contract for like they could have government people had BlackBerries because of the security on them for years.
Oh,
and
that's
years.
true. They were
like nobody wanted them, but like everybody in the government had brand new BlackBerries for like a decade.
Who was the president? Did Bush 2 have a BlackBerry?
I think he might have.
And it wasn't encrypted and it was like a whole problem. I think I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah, hey,
But other than that, no, I don't know.
you're pretty smart, Mr. Casey.
Do you guys remember the Nextel phones? People were like, it's a phone, but it's also a
Walkie-talkie, yeah.
And I'm like, who wants?
Because I was working
I
at
wanted
Caterpillar,
that, yeah.
and some guy was on a walkie-talkie conversation past the cubicles. We're all sitting there working,
Yeah.
and I hear click, click. Isn't that the gay bar? Click, click. And we just all died laughing. What?
Yeah, in a work setting.
But in a private phone conversation, it made sense. It's like, what if your phone was a walkie-talkie and everybody around you could hear everything?
I remember being
true.
at the grocery store in Southern Indiana when we lived down there in Evansville. I remember I was getting like egg noodles at Schnucks off Green Bank Road or whatever, Red Bank Road, whatever the heck it was called. Green River, Green Mile.
He's making it up, whatever.
No, but like some dude was
Names
having
have been changed.
Green
to
Mile,
protect the
3
innocent.
Snakes Road.
he was having seriously like an intense conversation with a coworker to the point where I'm like, I hope you don't work in defense or some sort of government contract. Like everybody in this store heard whatever you're talking about, and it was just comical to me that like something that you had in like 3rd grade and you talked to a friend a couple houses down with. That's what we're doing with technology.
No, now it's all the old people on speakerphone, like my mom, where she goes.
Yeah,
She's on speakerphone.
And she still puts it to her ear?
No,
with the
she
speakerphone?
doesn't.
'Cause
Oh,
that's even the
no.
best when the hearing aids aren't even like clicking.
It's terrible.
It's great.
It's all terrible.
It's
Let's
great.
go back. Let's go back to 1960.
Your mom seems brighter than
She's
that. So,
very lovely. She's a very nice lady.
Sweet woman.
I love my mom.
all right, now we move on to the first section of the show where we don't pander to the listeners. We move right on to pandering on our own garages and projects and supporting each other. It's like a roundtable support group of what have you done in your garage lately, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no
that's
moans like
appropriate.
that. We're supporting.
I'm sorry, I picked the wrong.
Hi,
hold on,
my
the
name
wrong
is Eric
clip.
Stahl, and this is what I have going on in my garage right now.
I like that.
Yeah.
I
Sounds like a
that.
confession.
I think maybe we'll change the segment.
Hello, my name's Eric. Hi, Eric. My garage is full of things I'm not. Oh, God.
So there's 3 of us, and it could get kind of long. I'm going to try and get short on these. The camper, I finally de-winterized it here in June because somebody wants to rent it.
Okay, so what the camper? Real quick.
So
recap.
I got a Riverside Retro 166. It's a small 2-wheel, 16-foot travel trailer.
Single axle.
Yeah, single. It's made to be pulled by a 4-cylinder car, or a V6 car, or a van. That's why we got it. And when we got it, we thought, well, this will be good for outdoorsy, because some friends of ours are doing outdoorsy. It wasn't like unprecedented. This wasn't like an idea I sprung by myself. We thought, well, while we're not using it, let's rent it. Well, the last year has just been terrible, but somebody said they want to rent it for the next coming holiday weekend. So I'm like, well, I guess it's as good a reason as any to de-winterize it, right, all the way into June. So got everything fired up, got it cleaned, and man, I'm like, it is so cute. It's so darn cool. It would be fun to drag it out and do something with it. So
it's really cool.
Yeah, so maybe when fall rolls around, we'll get it back out, and my wife and I will do something with it. So Treehugger 1.0, man, I tell you what, we went kayaking, canoeing this weekend. I had a good time with the family, and I because I don't want to get the Treehugger 3.0 dirty. Treehugger 1.0 is a 2010 4Runner Trail Edition, which is a truck from the dealership I use a lot. And I don't want to call it a demo, but it's kind of a demo. And then I got a 2017 4Runner Treehugger 3.0, but it's much nicer. It's the Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the concrete. What is that? Is
Cement.
it called concrete? Cement? Okay.
Yeah.
I should know this color, right?
Such a nerd.
Jake knows it.
He'd be all right now.
I know
Jake,
that color.
Yeah, Jake is like, yeah, Jake. I was gonna buy that truck. I took a picture of the day it came off the truck. Yeah, anyway.
No sunroof.
Anyway, I got 1.0 out, and I drove it and was driving on the Mackinac on the gravel roads, getting canoes swapped out and moving canoers, and man, I love that truck. There's just something about it. Even with 210,000 miles on it, as rough and as dinged up as that sucker is.
This is like an old pair of boots. Like
yeah,
a comfy pair of
it
boots.
totally is, because the seat is that loose and the steering is that loose.
It's molded to your butt at this point. You've
No,
put
actually,
so many miles
I
in
actually
that
pulled
thing.
the seat from 2.0 and put it in 1.0 because 1.0 the foam was falling out of it. So I moved the seat over. 2.0 got in an accident, so we had to move some pieces. Anyway, we're still working on that. But yeah, I just tell you what, man, there's something about that truck. If we talked about this earlier in the pre-show. If I were to die, what should you do with me? I think maybe some of my ashes should be cast into 1.0. And don't tell the next
You know
owner.
what? They wouldn't notice them. That thing's such a mess.
Just sprinkle it into the carpet.
Yeah.
Put some in the air
I
filter.
didn't even know these things had an ashtray. Yeah.
Get in there, man. It smells like Eric in here.
And so Friday night, Gabe and I went down to the dealership. The Forts had sold a building. We call it the Hicks Building, affectionately, across behind the McDonald's in North Pekin. And there's an 82 Landcruiser that's been sitting in there. Mike and I took that down to Southern Cruiser Crawl the first time we ever went to Southern Cruiser Crawl. I called it a barn find. Gabe was a little disappointed because it's not really a barn find.
No. You called it original, like an all original.
Well, the
So I
paint's
thought it
all
was just
original, the
stock.
condition's all original, but the seats have been changed. And somebody put a little piece of burlwood trim on the radio face.
Yeah.
and put screws in the roof and all that.
And there's a Tasmanian devil on the deck. I mean, but Mike basically bought it from this guy as like a hunting vehicle
Yeah.
and never changed it, just left it the way it is. And so it essentially hasn't changed since probably that guy bought it in 82 and put what has it got? The roll cage in it too with all the tape.
Aftermarket roll. And that's the thing. It had a handful of things that just weren't stock on it. It's
Yeah.
a cool rig. The engine
But it
ran
just rankled
great.
him. It just rankled him.
Great.
He was he's like,
I thought it was like a pristine, like this ancient capsule of like perfection of what it used to be. And it was just different. And I liked it. It was different.
anyway.
It's a survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the car hasn't really run in 6 years. When we were down at Southern Cruiser Crawl, it got stranded on. We were on this hill with all these modern FJs and Treehugger 1.0, and boulders the size of your fist. Just this whole road was just these big rolling rocks, and so that truck has nothing electronic. You put it in low gear and you just let it eat. Well, you got three wheels eating, but on those boulders and rocks, it can't do it. It's just digging itself a hole. And so the engine started to overheat, and those are kind of notorious. If there's not a lot of airflow and the engine's working hard in low gear, even with the little extra ventilation motor that's on the side of the motor, it gets hot. And so he was watching it climb while he's sitting there. So Mike kind of said, "I'm out." And so Jonah, one of the guys in the Louisiana Landcruisers group, took a strap and he pulled Mike all the way through the trail, and we took the old FJ down to the pavilion. And Mike has never forgotten that moment. I think that kindness from Jonah, he still talks about that to this day. He still remembers that. It was cool to see a new FJ, newer, take that old truck and like, here, I'll help you. But anyway,
Come on, Grandpa. We can make it up this
Yeah.
hill. Let me pull you.
I wish I had video of it. Honestly, it was pretty neat.
That's great.
But no, it fired up easy, and you drove it back to the dealership. And
So Gabe
broke it
came over
free.
Friday night, and we were just like, all right, I got premium gas, got the jump starter, got another battery. We were ready. And you brought carb cleaner,
starter fluid.
Yeah, we were
that we didn't need.
Yeah.
She fired off?
Well, we put the jump box kind of turned it over, but nothing was really happening. And so I said, you know what? We had the battery over there. Let's just put the battery in. It wasn't that bad. I had some scrappers working on the other side of the building, so we had to be there anyway. So we put the battery in, and then it's just cranking over like butter. It wasn't firing. And I just pulled the choke out, and Gabe's like, did you press the gas pedal? I'm like, oh, yeah. You got to
Pump
do
it
that.
a little. Yeah.
Gave it 2 pumps, fired right up.
Nice.
Crazy.
Nice.
Stuttered a little bit on the idle, let it run for a little bit, choked, and pushed it in. I mean, I'll be damned. That idle was pretty smooth for a car that hasn't run for 6 years or whatever it's been.
Yeah, so I've had two 78 FJ40s, and neither of my engines ran as smooth and as nice as that one did. And I thought, is that a 2F? Like, is that really the same engine? And apparently mine suck.
Yeah, well, I mean, this comes down to the same thing. It's always the same thing with Mike's cars, and just like the Plymouth you got, which I don't know if you guys talked about that in the last show.
I think we did. Yeah, we did.
I mean, most of the time, whenever Mike has a car, it's always been in perfect condition. Even if it's an older one like that, the wires are done, the plugs are done. You know, all the filters have been done, and then it's just put away and forgotten about. It's like play with your toy, put the toy on the shelf. Oh,
Sure.
let's blow the dust off of it and try it again some other time. And so that car went into that garage, into that Hicks building, in very
Pretty good
good running order. Yeah, so I wasn't scared of the gas. I'm like, 6-year-old gas. I mean, in my mind, it couldn't be that bad. And so I bought the premium fuel, and it was down on 0. It was on empty when I got it. So, so I put some decent gas in there, and she fired right up, man. I was like, awesome. But then that e-brake was locked up. For one, and then the clutch would not move at all. I'm like, I was just sure that the clutch master cylinder wasn't working because it literally went down like nothing. Like it was literally just a spring.
Yeah, you were just pumping it, and there was like nothing.
I was feeling no compression whatsoever. I'm like, this thing's blown. And but if I pressed on first gear, and actually it started in reverse. I think I put it in reverse
because it lurched on me. I had the door open, and I shut it real quick and backed up.
It rolled. I mean, instantly. Like it didn't go into gear because I had the clutch pushed in. But if I put a little pressure in reverse, it like caught the clutch, kind of moved. I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. And so I thought, well, maybe I can push this thing and get it rolling and just kind of force into first gear.
Yeah.
So that way we don't have to tow it across street. Because I'd rather not go across street with a tow strap. I don't have to.
Sure.
And so I kept pressing on it. And as I pressed on it, I got going maybe 2 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour. And all of a sudden, it's in first gear. I'm like, all right, cool. And as I got outside the building, I just kept riding it in first gear. I pressed clutch on, and it went right to second gear. I'm like, and I didn't even realize. I'm like, I think the clutch is working now. It all worked itself out.
I had like air in the line or something.
I don't know. I felt like maybe the thing was corroded, like the gates, like the oil was so gummed up or corroded inside the gearbox too.
Could be.
Yeah.
Or just low.
I almost felt when it first started, it was almost like the clutch was engaged. Remember when I turned it over, it was like the whole thing was kind of bucking. I maybe everything was seized together with rust from sitting in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, depending on moisture and stuff like that, I've seen them where the clutch, the disc actually gets like.
It was making a hell of a noise, like it was making contact.
Yeah, we checked all the belts and stuff when you fired it up to see if something was like rubbing.
And I just revved the shit out of it, and noises went away. So that's pretty good. Yeah.
The best way to do that too sometimes is to kind of shock it, not without breaking. Obviously, not do like a giant like 6K dump.
Yeah, yeah. No, I just gave it a little bit of bump on the gas, and and the noises all went away.
Yeah, he blasted off into traffic across the dealership. I almost got hit following him in the 4Runner.
Dude,
Treehugger 3.0.
One of the tires was square on that thing, too. That back end was like hopping. Like,
some flat spots.
Yeah.
29's difficult. That stretch where the dealership
That's
is.
why when I saw an opening, I had to run for
he
it.
just booked it, and I'm like, I got to be following him. And then I got out there. I'm like, sorry.
Grab a gear and hold on.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. No, it was fun.
That's exciting.
It was a neat rig.
It's fun to bring something like that back to life because you're there's this hope like, okay, this
Maybe
like,
there's hope for me.
right.
Maybe I can be brought back to
1982.
life.
maybe I can be like
What year were you born, Gabe?
84.
84. Okay,
Yeah.
it's older than you.
It's
Barely.
fun. It's fun to see that stuff because it's like it. To your point, when you have multiple vehicles, collectors, motorcycles, doesn't matter what you collect. If you have a bunch of stuff, there is that tipping point. I think it's if you have more than two. Mm-hmm. I think it's
Hey! I feel judged right now.
So
no.
I'm a beer collector. I like it.
You get to a point where you're like, you can't take care of all of them unless you either dedicate your time, all your free time to it, or you have somebody come and help you or whatever, or you rotate them.
Yeah.
So it's good to see. Hopefully, some of these other pieces of the collection will get out
Well,
there.
Friday Night Lights is coming up this Friday, and it might be kind of fun to drag that thing down there. I don't know. We'll see.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And by us, I mean you, because it's not mine.
Do it.
What are you coming? Friday Night Lights? Be there?
Yeah, I'd go if if the three of us here and maybe some other friends, like maybe our
right.
buddy Jake Irish might drag his stuff out. Yeah, I
don't know. If Jake and I hang out, we usually leave Gabe at home, but we'll see.
It's tradition. No.
Yes, and so the last story is that so we alluded to it a little bit. Throwin Wrenches crew got together for the canceled Cars and Coffee.
It wasn't canceled for political reasons.
No, and I think right. I think Preston did the right thing. It rained that morning. It rained up until 7:30 or 8 o'clock that day.
Yeah.
So they canceled the Cars and Coffee in East Peoria, which is a huge deal. It used to be when we had everything down there, we'd get 700, 800 cars, right?
Yeah, it was huge.
And so he canceled it. And I think a lot of people think he does it willy-nilly, but he really does look at the weather reports. And
they got sponsors and vendors and things, so you can't.
Hey, Fort's the sponsor. He reached out and let me know too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And don't they park on the grass too? So like if it's been raining all night, they can't use all those spaces.
Yeah. So we decided. We made the command decision. And I think somebody made the comment they'd never had a spud nut, which seemed. Did you take the spud nuts home, by the way?
I did. Oh, the kids loved them. Yeah,
good.
Everything was good.
Everything
was devoured.
All right, good. I want to make sure that happened. I would have loved to see them bouncing off the walls.
For the folks at home, what is a spud nut?
A spud nut. It's now called Tato's in Pekin. I think a new location's opening in Sheridan in Peoria.
University, yeah.
University. All right. Tato's Donut Shop makes their donuts out of potato flake dough. And it is extra delicious when they do that. These are like the richest, most decadent donuts you've ever had. They're glazed.
So good.
Donuts are so good, yeah. So I got a box of Tato's, and I headed down to the Bass Pro Shop parking lot, and we had our own little mini Cars and Coffee. And, we figured with Treehugger and Gabe, does your vehicle have a name?
The HJ.
That's what you call it?
Yeah, it's an HJ.
You got to have a name.
Who else has an HJ?
I must have a thing where I name everything. Is that what it is?
No.
You guys name your cars.
Yeah, we name them.
But they have like fun different names. Yours is just Treehugger 1, 2, and 3.
Well, there's a legacy.
Okay,
if somebody named their
there's
kid
a pedigree.
If I'm Daryl Scott Jr., I'm named after the first one, right?
All right.
It's like Seabiscuit. What was Seabiscuit's kid's name?
Have you named any of your other cars?
Red Mist.
Red Mist.
Okay, no, Summer named that car, right?
No, her and I both.
Okay,
did, yeah.
okay.
Do you have a name for your green Celica?
How about Aiden's stuff? No.
No.
All right. Don't judge me.
Okay.
Go on.
You called me out.
Go on. I did. I found it.
Anyway, so it was good. So we had your HJ,
and
which is a
1988 HJ61 turbo diesel JDM
with the ambulance roof.
Yep, ambulance top.
Yeah. And then Jake had his 80 series out there. Mm-hmm. That's on the 40s. What the hell is that thing on? 37s or
37s? I think 80s series Landcruiser.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Triple locked. Getting ready to take it out to Colorado here in a couple weeks.
It's ready to rock.
It is.
That thing is a nice looking rig,
yeah.
And I always like that because it reminds me. Here's how much of an idiot I am. There was a kid in high school that his parents had one of those, and they let him drive it to like band practice.
Dude,
once.
everything about you is with like band practice. The Volvos
This one time
and
at
the
band
Saabs
practice?
and everything.
I was a total band nerd.
You must have been.
His parents let him drive that one time, and I think he like curbed it or something. And this is like 1994 or 5.
Dude, they have like 80 profile tires on those things. You can't even curb them.
No, this dude. By the way, he's a Corvette driver now. But anyways, he
with New Balances.
With New Balances. He wound up like doing something and wrecking. And his mom's like, "Yeah, you're not allowed to drive this Landcruiser anymore. This is too expensive. Here's a brand new Civic." And I'm like, "That's the worst thing ever." So like shortly after that, there's a Busta Rhymes video. Yeah. And if Jake is listening,
Where
our good friend
going?
Jake, hold on. There's a Busta Rhymes video. And it's a song called "I Make Sure Everything Remains Raw." You can Google this. The entire video, he's driving an 80 series Landcruiser throughout like Times Square.
Nice.
Huh.
And it's great. It's all shot through like a fishbowl lens. It's great. And he's just like sitting on the hood like rapping.
Yeah.
It's awesome. We're just driving it.
Is it your buddy's Landcruiser?
No, it's bright red. It's got like the gold trim. Like it is beautiful. And I'm like, this is like, 14-year-old Daryl. I'm like, I'm totally going to get one of those when I get old. And I never did. So every time I see Jake's, I was like, I think I need to find one of these.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah. God.
Good
I should
story.
pull this video up.
No, yeah, well, I don't know if you should or not.
It's so good.
But anyway, so we had our own little private Cars and Coffee. And then it was nice because the HJ and Jake's truck, you guys popped on tailgates.
And Treehugger.
And Treehugger, I can lift the tailgate, but I can't really pop and sit on
No, but
a
we all
tailgate.
lined up. It looked
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
We
No.
were half of the presents because other people showed up a little bit.
Yeah, there was that Celica down the end, which I probably should know who that guy is. It's a totally sweet Celica that's kind of like modded out. And then
GTS?
GTS
GT
edition
something.
with like the special seat maybe, but it's not like an all-track or anything like that. And then Preston was there with the Supra. So I think the Toyotas were representing like half of the event anyway.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, so anyway, so that's all I have as far as projects go.
But it was fun to just hang out and talk and sit and we didn't even go look at that much stuff. Like that was
We
more
didn't
fun
even
almost.
we just sat there and talked.
Daryl and I took one lap in like 2 minutes.
Well, and I think Daryl and I had this conversation about having our own just like car get together. Not Cars and Coffee, not pure Cars and Coffee. Let's just, when Tato's opens up, let's just go down there on Sunday morning or Saturday morning, park our cars, have a donut and a cup of coffee, and just hang out in the parking lot.
Just gather, just loiter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
We could do it in your driveway, but it'd be more fun at Tato's, right?
It is, and then you can actually like people on the street will be like, "What's that? What's
Yeah.
going? That's cool," and then they'll pull in, and then we just
This gets back to my whole narcissism thing from the pre-show. I'm telling you, it's in the core. Look at me, look at me.
what do you call that? Where you start like a flash mob? No,
Yeah.
that's not. Well, that's not what we're trying to
Toyota's
do.
a Toyota flash mob.
What
I
are you
like it.
flashing?
Nothing. That's
Moss.
fine.
What have you been up to, Daryl?
So not too much. So the last episode, I think we did mention the fact that I had recently acquired a 1970 Plymouth Fury 3 convertible. Shout out to our longtime listener, Mr. Mike Fort, for making that possible, and also to Eric for facilitating. That's been a fun project to kind of get going. And Gabe actually helped me. It was probably like a month ago.
It's been a while now.
Been a
Yeah.
while. It was a weekend. I think my wife was away at a family reunion, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing." So he came over, and we got the car running. Put a fuel
I said
pump
we
on.
should work on the Cadillac, and you're like, "Oh, we got this Fury instead."
Yeah. I'm at the point in my life now where I start projects, and then I get bored, and then I start other projects.
I don't know, but that's not even fair because the Plymouth was heaped on you. Because getting back to that Hicks building we were talking about,
Yeah.
everything was getting thrown out of there. So there was some urgency to get it out,
Right.
and it was drivable.
Yeah.
In some ways, versus a Cadillac, right?
It was closer to the finish line than the
Yeah.
Cadillac.
Yeah.
It still is.
Like inches or feet closer, though.
I know.
I mean,
I know.
they're both very close. But go on. I'm just giving you a hard time.
No. It's funny. So 318 2-barrel automatic car, really nice, clean, rust-free Arizona originally car. So not too bad. Got the thing running. Put a new fuel pump on it. Went through the ignition. Cleaned the car about. Blah blah blah. Still need to put brakes on it. Gabe and I realized after about 4 hours of working on it that it runs great. It doesn't stop great. So we put new.
You just don't hit the gas. If you inch, you can stop it.
Yeah, you can kind of creep around.
Let it idle and
Can
then
you pump
slam the
them?
brakes.
No, so we put even pumping it with the original Master did absolutely not. It was not happening.
Yeah.
And you guys have been to my house. My driveway is like a sled hill,
Oh yeah, you don't want to go down with no brakes.
No.
Going up would be okay with no brakes.
right? Until you have to drive it back to the garage.
Yeah, exactly.
And being a 4-something-1,000-pound vehicle, 19 feet long, it would do some damage.
Yeah.
So we put a new master cylinder on it, and lo and behold, I'm not getting any fluid to the back. So either the line's clogged or most likely the hose is collapsed. Mm-hmm. Still haven't. That's where it's sat.
Okay.
I haven't had time to get back to it.
Yeah.
So I will. I promise.
And we talked to some guys at the car show, and what was their advice? Just
They're-
redo it all.
They're just
Don't
like,
do it half.
shotgun all the lines, replace all the lines, replace all the hoses, wheel cylinders, everything. So I have everything with the lines. I've got wheel cylinders, hardware, all that. But I'm on inlinetube.com looking for basically for $300 and get all new
Yeah,
lines.
that's the nice thing. Everything's pretty
Yeah.
cheap on this. Sounds
Yeah,
like.
for the most part. And Chrysler stuff actually kept. So from 60, basically 69 until 78. There's so many parts that interchange, which is great. Mm-hmm. The downside is everything needs to be replaced. But also, that's the thing.
But it sounds like
one
it's
new
different
car,
than the
please.
Cadillac. I mean, when you say everything needs to be replaced in the Cadillac from a car from the 50s,
It's different.
that's a whole different project. I mean, you're having to source things and run I mean,
Right.
you can't just like get on Rock Auto and just like buy parts.
No, for the most part, and that's the fun part about the Fury is that there's Facebook groups and there's like junkyards and stuff that just specialize in C-body Mopars, which is the full size ones. So that's kind of neat. And what's neat to me as a kid growing up, like I grew up a Chevy guy, and this is like such a foreign landscape to me. And that's where I also enjoy, and I think you guys are kind of the same way. You get something new, it's like, oh, I'm going to read and research, and I'm going to learn everything I can about this because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And then you become like this instant expert, and then at the end of it, you're like, okay, and I still need to fix it. Like, it's fun.
And now I know nothing.
Yeah. And that's the fun, because for however much you learn about something, new project, whatever you take on, there's somebody who's been doing just that thing.
Oh, yeah.
For 50 years.
Yes.
And they're
the Jedi Master.
That's who you need to talk to.
Yeah.
So I've learned a little bit of that, and I've already had like 3 people. You going to sell that thing? I'm going to buy it. I want to buy it. I'm going to buy it. I'm like, I'm not selling. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to drive it and enjoy it. And then I looked at the calendar. I'm like, yeah, it's a convertible, and summer's half over.
Yeah.
So I need to probably get on that. So
I'll say this though. I mean, when you took the car, the condition of the paint was pretty rough. The interior, the top had been down in this Morton, this basically that Morton building had been in forever.
Sure.
There was like a layer of just filth on top of that upholstery.
It was actually the bubonic plague, I think is what was on it. It was pretty bad.
Fortunately, the vinyl just wiped right off, right? I mean, if they would have had that back in the dark ages, it might have gone a lot easier.
Yeah, maybe.
Sarah put in some work.
Sarah did. And
As
Gabe
usual,
did too.
as usual.
Gabe was out there with the foam cannon and the pressure washer.
I just played.
But the upholstery, I mean, that green now just like popped right out of those seats, right?
Yeah, it's super, super nice. I don't get paid for this, but Amazon Basics. Amazon sells an enzyme cleaner that will eat nasty stuff.
Yeah.
And it's great. And it's $25 a gallon, and y'all need to buy it. And use it on everything. Use it for, if your sewer backs up in the basement.
Just dump it down.
Can I clean my kids?
Yeah.
You could.
Amazon got plumbing problems, Amazon Basics.
It's got a wonderful pine solly smell. So
nice.
highly recommend that. It does wonders, and it doesn't damage anything. So other than that, though, no, I've been lazy this summer, just between work and everything that I've got going. It sucks when you get home at the end of the day and you're just like, I have 3 things I could do and I should do and I like doing. I just don't want to do it.
No, I'm there right now.
Every day of my life.
Yeah,
It's like in the morning.
Shut up.
No, it's true.
No.
You get to a point where you're like, this is fun. This is a hobby. I should enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'll start feeling it in like November when it's 27 degrees and I can't go work in my garage.
Well, the problem is we don't have HVAC controlled workspaces. So
No.
it's either dead hot or freezing cold.
That's the worst part. What's the worst thing about this time of
The
year?
spring and the fall are kind of nice, and you get like 3 days. Because in Illinois, the weather just shifts.
100%.
Yeah.
So and that's where I'm at. I've got some other things, just, helping some other people. I do also want to say shout out to our good friend Jake Irish. I went a little overkill.
Yeah.
Every day I'm hustling.
Every day I'm hustling. I did buy... So my wife and I live on a half acre, and I decided to complicate my life after my...
I mean, between the house and the driveway and the garage, how much of that's a mowable half acre?
I don't know. Not
47 feet. Square feet.
And she's got some beautiful landscaping tucked in there, too.
It's a fair amount. It's a fair amount. But I did decide to complicate. I had a hand-made... I've got a little Honda self-propelled 22-inch nothing, right? And then my neighbor, years ago... He gave us a Sabre by John Deere rider, and that was the infamous, hey, does this thing run?
Yeah.
Oh, it could. Like, I'll take it.
It had no engine cover, did it? No shroud?
No, it did. I took it off when I was working on it. I got it running, put a carb on it, and sharpened the blades. It was fine for a couple of years, and then every season it was like, I need to replace the coil. I need to replace the ignition switch, and 2 tires here. And I got to a point where I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. Kind of like the same reason I got rid of the Jeeps as my daily. I'm like, I'm done working on this and driving it every day and making payment. Like, this sucks.
Jeep daily means you work on it daily?
Yeah, to a point. So I made the switch just like the dailies. I'm like, I'm going to buy Toyotas and just turn the key, make sure the maintenance is good, and just use it.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened with our mower. I decided to buy I'm really proud of this. It's a 42-inch Hustler mower. Don't Google that.
It's not about the size.
Don't Google
Size
yes.
matters.
Raptor XL 0-turn with a 21-horse Kawasaki 2-cylinder.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you what, that thing will probably do donuts if I want it. Well,
Yeah.
I know it will.
Yeah.
Tadow's?
Potatoes, spud nuts. It'll do spud nuts in the driveway. This thing will mow our lawn in like 21 minutes flat. I guarantee. So shout out to Jake Irish and the folks at German Bliss Equipment.
German Bliss. They should be a sponsor.
They should. I don't know.
I mean, I'm going to talk about them.
Yeah, they're
I mean,
fantastic.
It's either them or Hims. One or two, right?
Why not both?
Manscaped. They also sell, besides Hustlers, they will hook you up. They also are a Simplicity and a Xmark dealer.
Kubota
dealer for sure.
Yeah.
But if you're a residential goob like me and you're just like, hey, I need something to mow my lawn and I don't want to buy some Home Depot grade garbage.
Yeah.
Jake Irish is your man.
Jake Irish is your man. German Bliss Equipment. Check them out on the web. Anyways, that's all I got. I'm excited. That gets delivered Thursday. And you better believe I'm going to be mowing most of my neighbor's grass because they're going to be like, what did you buy?
I can't
What
wait
is
to
that?
see the TikToks.
And you got a free hat.
This is going to be TikToks.
2 free hats, brother.
2 free
That's
hats?
why Gabe wanted to go down there. Gabe's like, I want a koozie. I'm like, I got 1 million koozies.
Do you want a hat?
No.
I'll get a guy.
Only if it says Jake
You want
Irish.
a hat? I
Only if
got
it
a
says
guy.
Irish on it. Yeah, I got a guy.
Good.
But you also mow your brother-in-law's yard. So you've got multiple yards. Like, you're going to put it to good use.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll find stuff to mow. The neighbor, if she looks like she's struggling, I've seen those people across the street.
Yeah.
They could use a good Samaritan.
You can't do it.
Yeah.
Do it once, you're going to be done.
There's so many hills.
Their
They're gonna
yard
want
is,
it
their yard
every
is so
time.
small. He'll be done with it in 10 minutes.
I will. And then I'll be on the porch sipping country tie and lemonade going, it's good to have land.
All right, Stewie.
All right, so hey, good call.
No, I know.
All right, so Gabe, what have you been up to? I've talked way too long.
Well, let's get right back to Jake Irish and German Bliss. So I have my big garage project, which
I still haven't seen because I
Yeah.
ignored you Friday night.
Do it.
Yeah, no, which we'll get back to, but I had to do some backfill with some pea gravel, and my contractor's like, "Yeah, I gotta rent like a mini skid to do this, blah blah." And I was like, "Whoa, let's not spend more money here. We're cutting every dime we can." So I talked to Jake, and he let me demo a mini skid.
Ooh.
So he brought that puppy out, nice Kubota. It's like an SCL 1000, I think.
Okay.
Taught me how to use it in like 2 minutes. Set me loose. I had that whole thing done in 1.6 hours on the machine. Couple of minutes shovel time here and there. It was a lot of fun. So I made a little YouTube video, had a good time. He showed it to some customers. He's like, "Oh, we don't have any footage of this." So that was fun. That was good. He was like, "You should buy one and go in construction business."
But that's different than TikTok. See, the way what he did there wasn't TikTok.
No.
So he's better than
It was
you,
like a
Daryl.
6-minute video
Okay.
with no like rap music behind it. So I don't. It's a different realm
Okay.
I only have one TikTok with rap, but that's fine.
that you've made or you watched.
Yes, that I've made.
Okay.
No, I watch a lot.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what's this? What's
So
this?
no. So the next point is the garage is dead. Long live the garage. And I say that because since I have gotten that skid steer and made the video, nothing has happened.
What do you
It's
mean?
been a month, and there's been zero progress.
Is that your
on
contractor?
the garage.
Is that you? What's going on?
I talked to him, and he claims that he has no deadline on the trusses, and that without the trusses, he can't plan the next couple steps. He doesn't want to just do 2 things and then wait on that still, and it's been a little frustrating. So we'll
Are they all
see.
engineered trusses and stuff like that. or
Yeah,
whatever?
they're like
Okay.
59 foot long, so they're like they said they're as big as you can fit on a semi trailer.
That's big.
Yeah.
Are they going from the crown of the garage back? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, it's going from the very front of my garage all the way to the back.
And your garage is all existing. It's a 3-stall garage.
Right, but they're basically tearing out the 3rd stall to build this all the way back from the top up.
So you're getting a pretty good size expansion and a lot more height.
Allegedly.
I mean, on paper.
No, the ceiling height in the garage is going to stay the same because we'll have extra room potentially to finish up top.
Okay.
I didn't want to blow it up for a lift or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have potential living space than like it's going to be enough garage space for residential. But so
I
that
wish you well.
yeah, it is what it is. And then it's not a project, but man, I get on these online auctions and I just like, should I bid on this? Should I bid on this? And then I'm sending Daryl a picture, Eric a picture of like I'd bid on it, but I don't bid enough.
No,
I
okay.
think see, here's a problem with anything like that because if you bid and got it, then you sometimes feel like you bid too much. You bid to what you thought it was worth, and you didn't get it. Let some other jamoke get it and save your money for another day on another bid, right?
For the most part, but like it's been $100 2 times. I bid on a 1969.
As far as you know, it might. I mean, it's just like bring a trailer auctions. Then they give you another minute or another 3 minutes.
Like it's not real.
Yeah. I mean, and the next thing you know, it's $5,000 later, and you thought it was just $100 off, but you don't know.
That could be. But it's disappointing when like you bid on something and it doesn't go up another 1,000 or 2,000. It goes up $100 and you lose.
So what are your 2 examples where you have lost a bid by $100 on a car or truck that you wanted?
So about 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 1969 Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow, maroon and black exterior,
Oh, man,
tan
that's a sweet color
interior.
combo.
It was gorgeous. It maybe needed a little engine work to get running,
Maybe.
but
It
went
was-
for $7,000.
It was-
And these are $20,000 plus cars.
It was in a museum collection in Nebraska.
Basically.
Like, beautiful.
Yeah.
But it'd been basically sitting on a platform and hadn't run in eons.
Right.
But it would.
Yeah. But also, I didn't need
Maybe.
another project.
No.
And my wife would have literally buried me in the backyard.
I think she might have. I could just see Rachel's face.
So it's better that I didn't win. And then I just literally Monday I was bidding on a Jeep J10. It's a 1982. And
Like
I
a
bid
little half-ton, kind of Wagoneer front, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And it was in pretty good shape. Had like aftermarket stereo and sound system, but it had an accident in the history. 116,000 miles. Wasn't that bad. Wasn't all rusted out. Like patina, just like coat it and run it and just have fun.
Four-wheel
drive, locking hubs.
Okay.
Good stuff, man. 4-speed. And I bid $3,400, and I actually had to go to court. Miraculously, I never go to court hardly anymore. I was busy in court, lost it. $3,500.
You could have done the bid right there at my office because you came by and saw me right after
That
court.
was the week before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I actually have gone to court 3 or 4 times in the last 2 weeks. It's crazy. It's like I have to work, but
It's all right.
which never happens.
That's fine.
So that's been
fine.
very disappointing. It's not a project, but like, bid more, I guess. And then today, I guess I had no project, so my wife's like, "Oh, the car's really rattling. I don't know what's going on." And I looked at it real quick, and I saw the power steering fluid was down. So I was like, "I'll get some of that." And I heard a little bit of like an exhaust tick. I didn't know if it was from the engine or from the exhaust. And I couldn't really source it. So I texted Eric because I'm like, "Hey, is the dealership busy?" Because the other week I was out, they had a pretty light day. So I was like,
crushed.
"Hey, if you got a light day, cool." And he's like, "No, we're not. We're crushed," like he just said. So I'm like, "No problem." So I got some power steering fluid, topped it off, ran it again, was looking under it. And I found the heat shield over the muffler is literally just dangling onto the muffler and just rattling because it's only got 1 bolt still in it. So all of those washers just went through the heat shield and they all just fell.
disappeared.
So
Yeah.
in the tin versus the steel, they have an electromagnetic. There's like an oxidation. That happens
yeah, like
because
electrolysis
an
or
electrolysis
something.
happens.
It was
that,
crusty.
That tin just literally gets eaten away by the steel washer, and they fall through. And it doesn't matter if it's a Camry or an FJ or whatever; those tin shields just drop on your mufflers. Next thing you know, like brr, 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 brr.
Yep.
yeah, it's crazy.
So it's been worrying my wife because she's been driving it
Yeah.
since I got her to sell her Landcruiser.
Yeah.
Downgraded her. But I tried to like back off the nuts on a couple of the bolts there. I just broke 2 of them off. And then the 4th one was already gone. So I only have 1 of the 4. So I'm like, well, I'm not putting anything back up. I text Daryl. I'm like, how important is a heat shield on
if
your
you're
exhaust?
idling in tall, dry grass, yes, but
But it's up top.
it doesn't matter.
It's above the exhaust
Yeah.
on the body, though.
Yeah,
So it's not
but
affecting
it
anything below
dissipates.
it, right?
It dissipates heat rising in there. So if you're doing
Okay.
stop and go traffic and stuff like that, yeah, it's keeping the body from getting too much heat in a hot spot or something like that. But
So can we-
realistically, you're Central Illinois. You're probably never gonna need it. So
Can we drive it to Indiana next week?
yes,
Okay.
Highway driving is not even a problem. It's literally stop and go or sitting in traffic in Chicago. Maybe if it's 100 degrees outside.
All right. Well, I will retract my message to her that I fixed it with quotation marks.
And all you
take
need
out
to
the
do, you
quotation
just
marks.
get bigger washers. I mean, that's really the solution to that. You put that same shield. Did you already throw the shield away?
Oh, I fold it in half and threw it.
Yeah,
in
you
the
could. But
recycle.
you could get another shield with smaller holes on it, or you could just get bigger washers and put it
Well,
back
but
in.
the problem is all those bolts are welded to the body,
Yeah, you just
and
gotta-
3 of them are gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because 2 of them snapped when I lightly tried to back them off because they were so crusty and rusty, and the last one was just gone.
Yeah, don't worry
it was
about
only
That's
yeah.
fine. I wouldn't
Yeah,
worry
it's
about
probably
it.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it'll be fine.
It'll be a little warmer.
And then I changed the tractor tire. That was it on the front of my lawnmower.
Isn't that the worst job ever?
I tried to do it myself, and it was terrible, so I paid a guy $20.
Yeah.
Dude, Farm and Fleet does it for like nothing.
Yep.
And
Do they?
I'm never going to try and do it myself.
Okay.
I was out here with a hammer and a chisel, banging on my tool bench, trying to knock it off the bead.
Yep.
Why?
I did that one time.
Why?
I got 2 inner tubes on the front of our other tractor, and I was like, this will never happen again. This sucks.
But you know what? I broke the bead in like 3 minutes on this tire in my driveway. It wasn't hard to break the bead on both sides, but I couldn't get the rim out.
Yeah.
And then I watched the kid do it. I went to Frank's Tire because I took it to Flinginger's in Morton. They're like the John Deere shop.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I need a tire. I took in the whole wheel with the tire, and I'm like, hey, I just need this. They're like, oh, we'll sell you the tire, but we don't do them anymore. I'm like, okay. They're like, take it to Frank's. Took it to Frank's. They're cool people. I watched this young kid do it. If I had those little tools that just go around the edge,
Yeah.
I can do everything this guy did.
Like, what do they even call them? Like
I
pry
don't-
bars or spoons or something?
I don't know.
Yeah. It's difficult.
I don't know. My son's playing airsoft outside. Maybe we got some heavy artillery.
Uh-oh. The FBI found you.
Sounds like a... Oh, the C-130s
Yeah.
from the
Yeah, we sometimes
International
fly
From the
over when
air
they're
base.
looking for people running through my yard in black outfits.
Yeah, it's totally normal. Totally fine.
We love you all. Goodbye.
All right. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're all busy-ish
Yeah.
this summer.
Got plenty going on. So, yeah, I'm sure by the time we do the next show, we'll still be talking about the same projects.
Probably.
All
The
right.
caddy will be running.
So,
hope.
in this day in history, Daryl, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but in 1969, on July 18th, do we have theme music for this?
Yeah, hold on. There we go.
He's
Hold
going to
on.
go womp womp.
There we go.
Watch this.
There we go.
This day in history, Daryl, July 18th, 1969. What is the significance of the Oldsmobile Delmont 88?
It's like just a series. It was before they called them Delta 88s. It was like the Delmont 88, which sounds much more formal. Sounds like a supper club. I'm at the reservations for 2 at the Delmont.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know why. They
Okay.
called
well,
it that.
So do you know why today is significant for that car in 1969? This would be the day that one was found upside down at Chappaquiddick.
Ted Kennedy.
Yeah. Driving a Oldsmobile Delmont 88.
Wow, that was the car.
Yeah, that was a car.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I just looked up history.com this day. Now, by the time the show is produced and it's in your ears, it will not be the 18th, but I thought, oh, Daryl might know what a Delmont 88 is. And then what I thought I would do is I'd pull a picture of a Delmont 88, but I forgot to do that in the pre-show notes. So I don't. Does it look like a car that a Kennedy would drive?
No, they're kind of a plain 4-door sedan. Kind of a.
Like a government issue?
I was gonna say it looks like more of a government issue car.
Okay.
Was he incognito? Where was he going?
Questionable.
There's lots of conspiracy.
He was a Kennedy.
There's movies and books written about it, right?
Yeah, and you can look up for some reason. I don't. Mary Jane Kopechne.
Kopechne, yeah, that's
Okay,
her.
I don't know why I remember that woman's name.
You remember everything.
No, but I'm.
Definitely
I was
not
born
Hemingway's
10 years
automotive
after.
Cars
yeah.
and women.
I guess. Yeah, there's all.
There's a Mary Jo.
Yeah, Mary Jo, yeah, something like that.
The Kopechne name sticks out.
The interesting part about that is that shortly after that, I think that model disappeared, and by like 1970 or 71, it was like it's a Delta 88. Like maybe we just stumbled on some interesting car history. They changed the model name because of the
publicity,
the tainting of the brand, if you will.
Here you go.
Yeah, you don't want the taint.
Ted Kennedy.
No, exactly.
The taint. Stay away from it.
It's like- but the same could be said for. I'm thinking of other vehicles that might have. Remember the Suzuki Samurai?
Yeah.
And they had like that test where like the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety said
Yeah,
they were
but-
unsafe, and then they're like, "Oh, well, the Samurai's done. Now it's the Sidekick."
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing, but they
nobody
rebranded.
Cared. Nobody cared. Everybody with the Samurai didn't care. That car was still cool whether it rolled over or not.
We should
It's
get Samurais.
It's like the
We
Jeep
too.
Wrangler. You know what? You might be onto something.
Let's do like a Top Gear. We all have like $2,500, and we find like a Craigslist Samurai.
I wish that was our life.
I know.
No. This reminds me of the Arrested Development, where they're like, oh, we got rid of the Bronco because of the OJ thing. This is the Ford Escape.
Yeah, right. I had a friend of mine, and he had a '95, a white Ford Bronco, and as a goof, when he got it, his license plates, he had vanity plates.
Cato.
No, it said Wes OJ's 2.
Oh no.
And everybody, every time he was at a gas station,
Not
he's
worth it.
Was that
Not
He's
worth
like,
it.
No, I don't know. Like it was like a big joke for him.
Yeah.
He had
It'd
it
be
like
like
2
a
years.
pharmacist with Bill Cosby's picture in his office.
Right.
Yeah.
Just one of those things like funny, but maybe don't do it. Maybe don't do it.
Number one customer, Bill Cosby. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, ready to go on to the news there, Daryl?
Yeah, I think it's time to explore what's happening in the world around us.
All right. If it's news to you, it's news to us. It's automotive news with Throwin Wrenches podcast.
A nice roundup here. What's going on in the world?
We got a few things. I know you guys skimp on the news, so I'd like to drag a few things out here. And I forgot all about this, but Gabe reminded us in the pre-show, Lordstown. Remember Lordstown?
I do.
It's your
Womp womp.
Whoa. Well,
It is.
Lordstown Motor, they filed for bankruptcy, and then while they were at it, they sued Foxconn.
What?
Let me just hop in this real quick. This is from Reuters on June 27th, just a couple weeks old. U.S. electric truck manufacturer Lordstown Motors at ride.o. If you're looking for their stock ticker symbol, good luck. Filed for bankruptcy protection on Tuesday and put itself for sale after failing to resolve a dispute over a promised investment from Taiwan's Foxconn. Shares of Lordstown tumbled 35%. Was that from like 80 cents down to 50 cents or something? I don't know. In trading on the NASDAQ, the company's bankruptcy is not the first among a crop of EV startups that went public during the pandemic era SPAC boom. What's the SPAC boom? I guess there's a hot link there. I could find out what that is, but I'm not going to. Lordstown was a high-profile member of the class, and because it was challenging the core legacy of Detroit's automakers, business was in the high-margin pickup trucks, and because of its location. Because its location is Lordstown, Ohio, and I think as far as like Daryl's top 10 automotive factories,
Yeah.
this one's in the top 3, right?
It's up there for sure.
For now.
For
till
sure.
Till it's dust and rubble.
Yeah. I feel bad for the folks of Lordstown, but go ahead.
We knew it was going to happen. We've been talking about this for a year. The thing that's interesting about this article, and I'm glad we brought this up, it looked to me like Foxconn was going to be the salvation to Lordstown.
Mm-hmm.
It looked to me like Apple's been talking about building a car.
Yeah.
Obviously, Foxconn works with Apple, so we got a truck being made at Lordstown. Maybe this is finally the peanut butter and chocolate moment, where everything comes together.
Yeah.
And we have the perfect symmetry, but that doesn't appear to be the case.
So somebody got peanut butter in their chocolate, and somebody else got
Salt.
Call that a Reese's.
salt in their wound. So it didn't really work out.
I guess salt is good. Everybody likes salted chocolate. That isn't a good
Yeah,
analogy.
why is that a thing? See, by the way, chocolate.
Sweet and sugar, baby. Sweet and salty.
Sweet and savory.
Sweet and salty.
I guess.
Well,
but
this is interesting for a couple things. First off, we've been talking about like electric trucks, and it's been what? It's been Tesla Cybertruck, it's been Rivian, and it's been Lordstown. But Lordstown now clearly, obviously out. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Cybertruck finally coming out allegedly, like the first one rolled off the platform the other day.
Recently, yeah, like
according
a week or
to
two ago.
one picture.
Well, who would ever count Elon out as far as that goes?
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be insane if you were to put if I were putting money down on the ponies, and I had Lordstown and I had Rivian and I had Tesla Cybertruck and whatever, and these whatever knockoff brands, Canoe. You know that Elon's going to be in the race. He's going to be a showing.
Oh,
right?
he's in the race. But if there's only 2 people, does he get second?
Well, no, there's like 10 of these. I mean, we did the 12 EVs of Christmas. Remember?
Yeah.
There's a million EV truck
But are they?
makers.
They're all trucks.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah.
were all
Okay.
trucks. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
However, Lordstown did have something that was somewhat viable. If you look at everything on paper, it looked great.
Yeah.
Lordstown apologist.
Well, absolutely. I mean, he's got a flawed judgment in the whole thing.
I am. I just.
He's sad.
What the hell, man?
I see his face.
What happened? Do you remember? Do you remember the Quentin Tarantino movie Jackie Brown?
Yeah.
Okay.
Robert Forster.
Yeah, he was great. De Niro. Mm-hmm. At the end of the movie, there's a scene with him and Samuel L. Jackson, and Samuel L. It's in an old VW bus. Stuff goes down, and at the end, Samuel L. pulls a gun on De Niro, and they go back a long way. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Man, what that blank happened to us? We used to be beautiful." And that's how I feel every time I read a story about Lordstown.
About the factory,
Does
though.
Lordstown have the?
Yes.
Do they have the little goat that's weaved like Samuel Jackson's right on the chin?
No, that was a great film. However, I do feel bad because they did have a quasi-viable product. I just don't feel like that whole situation was run very well. And even with someone else coming in, some other partnerships, like it doesn't change the need for that. The need for an EV truck in the States, built in the States, is huge. Mm-hmm. Why isn't someone else giving them money to do that? And why isn't someone else swooped in and been like, yeah, this CEO blew. Let's get someone else in here and get it done.
I think they had their best shot with Foxconn, so I think it's too late. And I think, as we showed in the 12 EVs of Christmas, there's whatever the SPAC movement is, it's probably what we were talking about with all these different manufacturers trying to get out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's money being thrown around willy-nilly, these guys. Just tons. I don't know who these equity firms are that just have billions of dollars to throw at experimental trucks and stuff like that.
Oh, there's money.
Yeah.
There's money out there.
So, I mean, this is just one of the corpses in the lineup of vehicles that will be dead vehicles that we won't even remember 10 years from now.
Yeah.
I mean, Nikola or whatever, that'll be one of them,
Oh, yeah.
right?
I forgot that.
Yeah,
I totally forgot that,
It's
too.
still there. I mean, there's going to be lots of them, and it was a great idea. But ultimately, I mean, Ford's selling plenty of their electric trucks. I'm sure Chevy will be.
I saw a Hummer EV in Morton the other day.
Yeah,
Looked dumb.
Ford's having trouble with
they're dropping the price. I saw it has 17% price drop.
Yes, they're having trouble with that, and they're having big trouble with the Mach-E.
Yeah.
If you look recently,
They
I
called
see
it
it-
a
I see 'em on-
Mustang.
I see it on the used car lots.
I refuse to. Now, hashtag not my Mustang.
Exactly.
But they're having trouble with those in
Hashtag
particular.
electric ponies live here.
Yeah, I really, really wish, like, at some level, where is the sub 70K electric truck?
Yeah.
That's one of those. I would think people are, that consumers might be ripe for something that isn't a Ford or a GM or a Dodge or something that's new, that's a startup, that's different, and kind of like Rivian.
Well, and so
You know?
I've had two conversations with Rivian people. Maybe they shouldn't have told me I'm privy, but the quad motor and the 8,000-pound truck is overbuilt for most people.
This is the same with the Hummer. The Hummer's like 1,200 horsepower.
Yeah, and like
allegedly.
11,000 pounds, where the hell that thing is.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's too much. And so they've overbuilt these cars. They went all performance on them, which I think everybody thought, because Tesla laid that out. Tesla put all kinds of numbers out
come
there.
in flashy and then go to the lower model.
Yeah, and so we don't need a motor on each wheel.
No.
That's cool, but you could have a dual motor truck. And, I mean, think about the guys who buy the electric trucks. I mean, I remember when the Lincoln truck came out, the Ford F-150 version.
Yeah, the Blackwood.
The Blackwood, yeah. I mean,
And my barber had one, and I'm like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. He's like, oh, it's great. It's great. I'm like, yeah, maybe.
And we got the Capstone Tundra. I mean, a lot of people buy these trucks just to drive them around as like passenger cars, right?
Uh-huh.
How many people actually use a truck as a truck? And how many people actually need that much horsepower, that much climbing torque? You don't. You know, a dual motor and a smaller truck, like you're saying, with a shorter range and a cheaper price, that would probably sell twice as much.
What if Lordstown or Nikola or some of these other EV startup truck companies that are kind of, what do you call them?
Dead.
Disruptors? Yeah, dead.
I like the disruptor tag, but yeah.
DOA.
Yeah.
What if they were putting out something that was like a 30K, like a Ford Maverick size
Yes.
EV that was like
that's what they need to do.
affordable, small, and like manageable? What if they did that?
I think Wall Street Journal just had an article about these Japanese trucks being pulled over that everybody's doing.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah, and they're coming to the States. They're all getting the 25-year limit, and they're coming over here, and people use them on the farms because we lack vehicles now that are just literally industrial, small vehicles without the bells and whistles.
You're spoiling my car of the week.
Oh, boy.
Dang it.
Sorry, that happens.
No, it's true, though. It's true. Like, I've seen
I
so
looked
many.
ahead. I didn't see yours, Gabe. But that's,
So many of those imported, kind of like what Gabe has, like a little micro truck, like a K truck.
yeah, and I was saying on that K truck he bought that, electric motor. What if you were to transition that thing to a couple of deep cycle batteries and an electric motor? Reliable. It gets you all around Morton, all day long. You could get the kids to school. You could run around the yard, do stuff. You do whatever you want, and literally plug it in at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing to me is that this reminds me of like early auto manufacturers in the EV market now, where you had hundreds of them and you got like a couple models here and there, and then they disappeared or they got rolled into the bigger companies.
Right.
So it's crazy to see these old vehicles where there's like, oh, there's only 5 of them still around, and it wasn't even a popular manufacturer. And now I see that a little with like Lordstown and other places where they had a chance and they didn't make it, but they didn't ever put anything on the road. So
No. I'll pour one out. Next time I'm having a beverage, I will pour one out for
well,
my
just buy the
homies.
factory. You'll be fine. You just like the factory.
So I read an article today. It was about Buckminster Fuller, and he had his little airplane car. It was like supposedly the worst car ever made to drive. But his thought was you could drive like from New York to Los Angeles at 120 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You know, anyway, there was like 3 of them made. And I think they all kind of fell apart. But there's some plans, so somebody made one. And that, I mean, we're talking about cars from the 1950s maybe when he did that. Buckminster died in like the 80s. But
It was like earlier, but yeah.
Yeah, and so people still have interest in those vehicles. They're combustion engines. They're basically like aluminum bodies. But will these EVs have any kind of heritage like that 50 years from now?
I don't know. And people have asked that. We've had that conversation in the antique car circles that I run in. It's like, well, what?
I'm sure those are very defined opinions, though. 'Cause I'm in
are.
that club now.
Yeah. Gabe and I are both in these circles.
You know, they could be a sponsor, so shut up. Or
Well-
we could be a sponsor of them.
Well, the interesting part about that is like you get back to what is interesting, what will be historically significant.
Mm-hmm.
And like last week, I remember going through Facebook, and it was a group of people, and it was like a trade school in Ohio that still had one of the like 10 GM EV1, the early GM electric
I think
vehicles.
I saw that article, yeah.
And they're like, oh my gosh, this, like they crushed most of
Shouldn't
these.
exist.
It shouldn't exist, and this trade school, like vocational school, has them.
Smithsonian has one too, yeah.
They do. And it's one of those things where it's like that people now, that was like 96, 97 when the GM EV1 came out. And everybody looks back at that like this was a historically significant car. And and GM decided, yeah, we're not going in that direction. And then it wasn't until the Chevy Volt came out where they kind of basically did some of that.
Yeah.
But they're still not all in on EVs.
No.
No matter how much they want to sell Buick is like, oh, we're the EV brand now or whatever, or Cadillac.
Yeah.
It's not.
How frightening is that if you converted your entire Cadillac dealership and you spent the word I heard was Cadillac down the road from us in Pekin spent $400,000 upgrading to the level 3 chargers, which were mandated by the manufacturer to keep your franchise. So what if you spent $400,000? Now the market's kind of going backwards on EVs, and people aren't paying as much for them, and they're not as desirable. How scary is that?
Lawsuit.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and they ran GM, not to belabor a point here, but GM ran a lot of the smaller state
it ran a lot of
dealerships
business.
out of
Yeah.
business. They said, if you won't do this, then you're done. You can't plant our flag out front. And it's funny because last week I was taking Grandview Drive home, and the guy in front of me pulls out of a really nice, probably multi-million-dollar home overlooking the river, and it's just beautiful, beautiful place. And it's a bright blue CTS V whatever Blackwing sedan with a supercharged, basically Corvette motor and a 6-speed manual, and he killed it like 3 times because he can't. Like you could tell it was a new toy this guy bought and was still trying to learning how to drive stick. And I'm thinking, and it sounded wicked. I'm like, that's a Cadillac. And I followed him for a little bit. I'm like, man, this thing sounds sweet. This is cool.
You were stuck behind him. You didn't follow.
I was stuck behind him. Yeah, I was. And I Googled it at home, and I'm like, you can still get a manual, like regular ICE motor, supercharged 6-speed manual car, and that's the brand that GM was like, oh, we're all about the EV caddies. And when I was at the Father's Day car show up at Oakbrook Center up in Chicago area, Classic Car Club of America, Chicago chapter, all kinds of like Duesenbergs and like really, really high-end things.
Cool.
And Cadillac was a sponsor. And all the Cadillacs they had on display next to like these 1920s and 30s, like a 38 LaSalle sedan and stuff like that, EVs. And it's funny because like there's the old folks and everybody looking at the cool, like basically rolling sculpture, works of art.
Yeah.
And they're looking at these EVs and like, and they just kept walking past them. And these are like $90,000 cars and little SUVs and stuff. And people like, you could tell the Cadillac salespeople were just kind of like, why are we here?
Yeah.
It's weird. We're in a weird time. Everything's just
Dude,
weird right now.
I actually thought about posting, I think the Kia or Hyundai is coming out with a new SUV. And I swear to God, everything's climbing back to look like a Grand Wagoneer. All the lines and the chrome and all this stuff, it's like we're going backwards in some of our designs. Maybe that's a precursor to maybe some of those classic lines and swoopy things. Maybe the manufacturing process will lend itself to maybe more artistic designs. I don't know.
Have you seen the new Ioniq 5s, the Hyundais? They look like a 1988 Golf, like a Volkswagen Golf GTI.
No, I haven't seen that.
And I'm like, these are great. And all the younger people are like, yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. The new Prius, I think, is hot as hell.
It is.
It's gorgeous.
It's sharp.
I just saw a maroon one on the way here.
We just sold one today.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Maroon, in red, yeah.
It might have been that one.
Yeah.
It doesn't spark joy. Just like the RAV4.
Yeah, 50 miles per gallon sparks joy.
That sparks a wallet. Doesn't spark joy.
I'm going to tell you what. At the end of the year, it sparks joy. All right, let's move on. We got other articles here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the roof is on fire, but...
Do you need some water?
The roof. Yeah. Anyway,
Is
Volkswagen
on fire.
CEO Schaefer to his managers, the roof is on fire. This is from Ward's Auto. Thomas Schaefer is warning that tough times are coming, suggesting that all is at stake. And in a fiery address during the annual managers meeting held this week, in an hour-long meeting, Schaefer laid out the breadth and the severity of the problems facing VW as it seeks to become a leading manufacturer of electric vehicles, while continuing to serve the global markets with traditional ICE engines, telling more than 2,000 senior managers the roof is on fire. Do you think he played Bloodhound Gang? I mean, that would really drive home the point.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's from Ward's Auto. Again, getting back to the same conversation with, he just invests a lot of money in electric and then people aren't buying them. Does this lend itself now to the federal government getting involved with more tax incentives?
Here in the States, yes. Here in the States, the numbers have played out, and lo and behold, when you incentivize it, and you got
sell.
They actually sell.
Hashtag bailout.
Yeah. But that's also
Crony capitalism?
It's encouraging in a lot of respects, and maybe that's what we need to do to get things into the marketplace where they need to be. But again, we've had similar conversations about should the government be in the business of backing winners and losers and steering the market in certain areas, and
Yeah, they don't do any of that stuff with aviation or electricity.
Right.
The government never gets involved in any of that stuff.
You couldn't see the eye roll.
Fuel
There was an eye roll.
prices, strategic fuel reserve. Yeah.
Why doesn't the government subsidize chili cheese burritos or something?
Yeah, right.
That's what they need
Sucking
to be
on chili dogs.
Sucking on chili
That's what
dogs.
we're talking about.
It's very interesting. But to hear that coming straight from the horse's mouth, Volkswagen has doubled down on EVs. And globally, they're huge. Here in the States, still slow to adopt.
And, Volkswagen is, if they aren't right now, they were the largest manufacturer in the world.
I believe they still are.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to bring another diesel to the U.S. I can tell you that much.
No.
Well, and that's why they're doing the Electrify America. That was all part of that lawsuit, too. We
Yeah.
got into that with a Reagan show a while back. That,
Right.
They didn't do this all because they're just altruistic and just so generous. They were sued out of their brains, and that was part of the deal. So,
But I think the bigger issue is, do auto manufacturers need to say, we are going EV? Can't they just dip their toe in? Can't they have, a broad spectrum?
I think that in this environment right now, you have to be all in on everything. It doesn't matter. It seems like it's anything. Even when we talk about these months, we got ethnic groups and sexual groups.
Right.
Everything. In electric cars, it's like if you're not all in on everything, then you're not fully committed to the cause. And I feel like EVs are one of those things. It's like a hot button. Toyota gets flamed constantly for not being all in on EVs.
Yeah, I've read that numerous times when Motor Trend, Car and Driver, they'll do road test roundups, and Toyota is still wishy-washy,
Dragging their feet.
They're behind the curve, and I'm like, behind what curve?
Yeah.
They have options. There's certain options, but also I've read the same thing about Stellantis vehicles. They really don't blah 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 blah, and I'm like, okay, they make a Wrangler you can plug in.
Yeah.
Nobody's buying it. That's the other thing too. Is what does the market when does the market decide what is?
I think there's
viable?
some kind of a media machine that's working right now where just special interests really do control the narrative on this stuff. And Toyota's looking at the market. Toyota's still selling more cars than anybody else in the United States. And guess what? They're selling the least EVs. So,
But that's what I'm saying is the problem. Companies don't need to say, we're going all EV. Go half EV.
I think
that's still good. Offer the option.
yeah, I don't know. You got the president even running down on manufacturers and also saying you're not get tax incentives unless they're built in the United States. There's a lot of stuff going on in play. A lot of fear mongering, a lot of attacking.
I think it's important to look at the demographics of those companies or divisions like Buick and Cadillac, where they're trying to really, 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 really push it. The last time I looked, and I don't know what the numbers show, but Cadillacs and Buicks and Lincoln, same thing. That's boomer territory,
And
bro.
I
Those are people that are like, they're not the early adopters.
I never understood that either, because when it seemed like when they were going after Tiger Woods to be the sponsor for
Cadillac.
For Buick. I'm like, they were trying to like hip it or something like that. But why not embrace the people with the money? I mean, honestly, boomers have more money. Make a car the boomers want and keep it with the boomers. I mean, obviously, every generation's dying, but you have to know that the boomers are going to be around. I mean, what was it? Probably 10 or 15 years ago, Tiger was all about the Buick. They put him in there.
Yeah.
They could have made $80,000 Buicks loaded up with all the options and leather and all that stuff and just said, hey, this is a boomer car here. This is what you want.
Yeah.
And those people had the money to spend.
They would. And they sponsor all the PGA tours, and they're like, I don't understand that. At the end of the day, though, too, the ones that cry the most and are trying the hardest are the ones that have to convince their audience that like they're making the right choice.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is, people that have wanted EVs or that have thought about it, done the research, they already have one. Mm-hmm. That's already in their driveway or their garage, plugged in at night. Yeah. It's the folks that are like, I'm thinking about it, and they're having to convince those people to make that plunge. I don't know. To hear Volkswagen talk about like their hair's on fire, everything's terrible. They really haven't still made it in North America with EVs yet. Yeah. And
I don't know of a single Volt. I mean, actually, so they have the whole ID series. It's
ID3s and stuff. Yeah,
but
I just saw one.
Are they here?
They are. I saw one yesterday. It's the first one I've seen.
And the van is like, that's going to be the godsend of Volkswagen EVs, right?
They've been saying that for 3, 4, or 5 years.
Yeah, I know. When's it coming?
I don't know. But also, make one, sell one here, sell it under $40K.
Yeah.
You will sell a ton of them. I guarantee when it shows up here, it'll be 60.
No. You're probably right.
And then everyone will be like, I can't afford it.
Oh, no. And then the dealers will mark them up $20,000.
Yeah, market adjustment.
Those dealers.
Yes, the market adjustment.
Is anyone still doing that, though, for real?
I was talking to Regan today, and, I mean, 4Runners are still going for sticker price on most places. I don't know what car. I think maybe some dealers are marking up Priuses across the country, but I think we're not. But
I've heard a lot of Jeep dealers struggling with market adjustments on some high-dollar ones.
Oh, well, living. I mean, you know what? It's hard to give up that profit margin once you've been sucking on that for a while. So it saved a lot of dealers during some hard times during COVID too. So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
All right. So one thing, we're done with news, by the way. That was a great news segment, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. I've been getting a lot of press releases lately from some electric car companies talking about hill climbs and all that. And in the meantime, I think even a week ago, I sent you guys an invite to an event in England for a vintage car club hill climb. So cool. Taking old Morgans, taking old MGs and stuff like that, and just getting out in the pastures of rural Western England, just hopping on the bumper while your driver tries to give it.
I love that. They bounce up and down in the back while the guys. Oh.
Yes. So anyway, a couple things came across the radar here. And we had the first one here is the Rimac Navara. It set a production record for a hill climb at the 2023 Goldwood Festival of Speed. I don't know anything about these guys. I don't know what a Rimac is. I don't know what the Goodwood Festival of Speed is. But I know that they got this black and green car that looks like it's destroying some pavement. And I don't know squat about this thing, but the Rimac Navara, already the fastest accelerating production car in the world, and the production EV with the highest verified top speed, is now also the fastest electric production car to ever have taken on the famous Goodwood Festival of Speed hill climb, as well as the fastest overall production car this year. The Supercar Shootout and the final day of the event, the Navara set a time of 49.32 seconds. The car is fitted with Pirelli Pilot Sport 4S tires. It was driven throughout the weekend by Bugatti Rimac chief test development driver, somebody, who famously spent most of his time on the hill in Navara in 2022 sideways on smoky drifting through every corner. But in 2023, his focus wasn't to put on the show, it was to set a record. This car is blazing fast. I think, Daryl, you pulled up a video of this earlier?
Yeah, it was running like ridiculous, like 300 plus miles an hour. It was insane. And the guy, we were talking. I think we all looked at it. And Gabe's like, he's not really the driver's not doing anything.
He's just sitting there.
He's
white
pushing the gas pedal and he's holding the wheel. That's all he's doing.
Pushing what?
I'm sorry, the little thing the electrical thing he pushes that just
it's the accelerator
because there's no gas, nothing happens. He's doing nothing.
It's technically for
a feedback loop.
It's a potentiometer.
Yeah, he's got the force. He's got the force feedback on the steering wheel. It's not even like drive by wire. He's in a computer game.
He's in Need for Speed 3.
Yeah,
is what
he's got a PlayStation controller. He's sitting there.
It didn't even sound
Wait
cool.
a second. PlayStation controllers have not had a good rep.
300 mile an hour. Wait, what happened?
I mean, they work in submarines, kind of. I've heard.
Yeah, sort of.
They're better. They're better above sea level.
Okay.
Anyways,
they are. No, so you don't know. Seriously, you don't know what the Goodwood Festival of Speed is?
No, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's huge.
Do you know about it?
I saw about it on the trip. Is all, but it's a classic restored car track, right?
It's a track that Lord March made, opened up in early 90s on the Goodwood Estate, Goodwood House, whatever. Yeah. And he actually he's a total gearhead, and it's this beautiful house in West Sussex.
Okay. Oh man, you do know all about this.
I was there.
This sounds like some. Oh really?
Yeah. Yes, I stopped there along the way. Fantastic. So they do the Goodwood Festival of Speed I think it's right around this last week, and it rained out. It was whatever. It was bad. But they have all kinds of like interesting vehicles that show up from around the world. They ship them in. They do like all kinds of timed runs and whatever. And then they also have I believe it's September, they have the Goodwood Revival, which is all historical. You have to dress in like 1930s, 40s period costumes.
Oh, sweet.
It's all historical stuff. Fantastic. Beautiful venue. Wonderful, wonderful thing. It's on my bucket list to go to. If you're a gearhead, I think at some point we should go.
Okay,
we should go.
Sounds good. All right.
We should go.
If you don't know about Rimac, the Rimac Group is led by CEO Mate Rimac. It's a majority shareholder of Bugatti Rimac and the sole stakeholder of Rimac Technology. So, I mean, it's the Veyron. That's
yeah.
I always thought that was the fastest car in the world, right?
For a long time, I think it was.
And
like production car.
That's a gas car. It's like a V12 or something like that, right?
Or W16, something crazy.
Okay, so now Bugatti, would we say that Bugatti is like moving into EVs and they're just using like these little shadow companies?
Right.
And isn't this the kind of car that got Richard Hammond nearly killed?
I think so. I think it's all one of those like extremely lightweight, stupid fast, and there's like 10 of them or something. Like it's a production car, but wink, wink.
It says they're based in the outskirts of Zagreb, Croatia, with locations around Europe, and currently employs 2,000 people.
Wow.
I mean, that's it. How many people are employed at Rivian?
Good question. I don't know.
4,000? 5,000?
I thought it was a little more than that, but yeah.
Seems crazy to me that this company, Rimac, has 2,000 employees.
That is interesting. What I don't even know what that thing costs.
Yeah, probably $1 million. So while you're looking that up, I also got a press release this week from Radford, from their media information. The Radford Type 62.2 Pikes Peak Edition was a class winner, and it was showcased at this year's Festival of Speed. Concept and engineering were inspired by Pikes Peak project, will allow customers the chance to experience the ultimate performance that Radford can offer. Their limited run of up to 12 track car models will be available. This was on July 18th in California. After a successful dynamic debut, the 62.2 is last year's Supercar Paddock. In last year's Supercar Paddock, Radford chose the 2023 Goodwood Festival of Speed to showcase their new limited series track edition 62.2. So apparently, if you had a hot EV, you were at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, huh?
Yeah, you were definitely getting some press time in there. By the way, I just Googled the Rimac Navara, or Navarro, Dave Navarro, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Is sticker price, what do you think it is?
$1.2 million.
2.1 million.
Ooh.
Close.
I was dyslexic.
It'll be under your tree this Christmas, because I know how much
Only
you
if
want.
I can negotiate it down to 1.2.
Can you imagine that? Like how? Okay, so when I was reading how many people were employed, 2,000 people, and I'm like, they can't crank out that many of those a year.
But in Croatia, you can probably pay people $5 an hour, right?
Think
how many employees I could have if I had a shop in Croatia.
$2.1 million for a vehicle that you can blast around a track in record time.
Wonder what kind of TIF district you get if you're in Zagreb.
To have a factory that just builds these. Well, I'm curious to see how much of it is actually built there. If it's all carbon fiber, it has to be. It has to be.
What would be
just
funnier is if you found out they were like buying Tesla engines for their drivetrain.
They're just sourcing them from everywhere else. 2.1, Gabe, $2.1 million for this EV supercar. Is that something that you could ever see if money was no object, could you see spending $2 million on a...
No.
Yeah.
Not on an EV.
What would you spend $2 million on?
A Lamborghini.
What
would you? Would you really?
Yeah.
A new one?
No.
Like a Mura or an old school Countach or whatever?
Yeah, maybe like a Diablo or a Countach. Or...
I do like that. Man, the Diablo is still aged
First, you
quite
need
well.
a garage.
Yeah.
He's getting there. It won't cost...
Sorry, I always crash reality on
It
you guys.
burns deep.
I like to make fun of you guys anyway.
Popping my bubble.
All right, so those are the modern cars.
Yeah.
Rimac, Radford, these guys. It would be fun to watch this. Goodwood may have to come onto our radar. And then what got me inspired by this, like I said, there's a Instagram account called VSCC, Vintage. What's it?
Sports Car Club of America.
That's what it is. Yeah,
Yep.
Vintage Sports Car Club, but it's not America. It's just Vintage Sports Car Club.
Oh, okay.
And
You
it's-
wrote America.
Yeah. Well, so no, there's actually one in the United States too. There's the VSCCA.org. That's the Vintage Sports Car Club of America. And what I found is they're mostly in Connecticut and Massachusetts, and they're doing hill climbs and they're doing all kinds of vintage racing and stuff like that. But it's mostly in Northeast, Connecticut, Massachusetts. But the Instagram account, the VSCC, that's English countryside racing. That's the pastoral setting.
Beautiful.
This is cool. And these guys are taking cars. I mean, these old Morgans, stuff like that, which I would equate to, I mean, these are what, in my mind, I could be completely off base here, but these cars running and in the condition they are, these look like $30,000 to $40,000 cars here to me, right?
Probably more, but yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I was thinking 50 to 60,
Yeah.
maybe even $100,000 cars. I've seen some even look like old Rollses and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, and the nice part about, here's the thing, the UK, folks in the UK that are into veteran motor cars, they run and drive and they participate. They do
drive
things.
the crap out of them.
Like here, you'll see somebody who's like, oh, I've got a restored Shelby Mustang, and it never goes out, or it goes in a trailer. And
Well, that's worth way more, though.
Sometimes, but like there's guys like one-off stuff in the UK. They're like, yeah, I'm a Goodwood
It's
every
like
year.
the only car, made.
Yeah.
It's the only one left.
And I'm out there flogging it on a course, or I'm doing
And
like
you know
vintage.
what? That's why we broke from the colonies. No sense.
Shut up.
Come on.
Because this
You
makes me
gotta be
think they got it
logical.
dialed. Sometimes I think they might have this dialed in. They're actually enjoying these old cars.
They
Yes,
are.
drive them and enjoy them.
Yes.
But don't bounce them up a hill when it's the only one in existence.
But here's my problem. Okay, so say I'm a rich guy around here and I got 50 old cars and I got a garage somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not driving those 50 cars. At least Jay Leno says I'm going to drive 2 or 3 of these every year. I'm going to drive them around, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't need to have a museum.
He's busy getting caught on fire. Let's leave him out of this.
But if I have 50 old cars and they're literally a museum piece, I guess at that point it's just you're a collector.
No, and
These guys are actually enthusiasts and they're drivers.
Bingo. You just nailed it. Hold on. I got to do this.
All right.
Hold on. I got to do.
it's
There we
always
go.
womp womp. Let's see
There we
what he
go.
gets.
No,
All right, let's see. It's a lottery
no,
draw.
I'm going to do the.
It'll be clapping.
There we go. Thank you.
All right.
That's
I'll have to tighten that up in post.
He did it. That's very nice. You know what?
bad.
You know what I love is you guys always talk about doing stuff in post and it never
Never
happens.
happens.
No, it's more
And
fun.
Like,
It's more
he's
fun
like,
to
hey,
pretend like
hey,
this.
let's do like a beep beep.
In my previous podcast, we used to pretend like we had a production. We had a name for the production person. His name was Barry, and we always said Barry would clean it up in post.
There was no Barry,
It was
and it was
I love
never
it.
cleaned up.
No, but like I love driving classic cars. I think people should daily drive classic cars.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should have 4 dudes on the back bumper bouncing it up at classic hill.
I don't. How could you fault those guys? I mean, because honestly, I feel okay.
If it's that rare, no. But
I
if it's
get-
like
yeah.
more run of the mill, like if you want to go beat the shit out of your Model T, go
Mm-hmm.
for it.
I get
Well,
it.
and so
Yeah.
Right.
and so when I was telling Regan about this, I was talking about the kind of what we're going to be talking about tonight in the show, and Regan said there's Model T clubs that do this.
Perfect.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So Newport Hill Climb in Newport, Indiana, I think we need to make a pilgrimage there because that is just across Interstate 74 from us. It's probably 2 hours.
Okay.
Just over the border in beautiful Newport, Indiana. Also famous for the world's largest stockpile of VX nerve agent.
Oh, excellent!
Yeah, it was
excellent.
The Mason and Hanger Corporation used to have a bunch of that.
Parkinson's look good on me.
Yeah, it actually they got rid of that years
Allegedly.
ago. Allegedly, that was fun. But no, Newport is a great hill climb event. I've never been there, but everybody that I've heard that has gone there, car club guys, it's always the first. It's either like my anniversary weekend or Spoon River Drive weekend, which here in Central Illinois is a big deal.
No,
But that's
just
2 weekends.
for the
It's
Scott
2 weekends.
family.
Yeah.
What? There's people who just like all they do is sell like onion straws that weekend, and that's their annual income.
Yeah.
So it
But
is.
you don't go and sell onion straws.
No,
So
but
you don't need to
You
do
know
it.
what? You're gonna fight. You think you're gonna interrupt him and his wife?
I
going to
will
Spoon River
fight
Drive?
Sarah. Let's go to the hill climb.
it's
Good-
my
good luck,
wife
you'll
likes
lose.
she likes buying old garbage. Which
And you?
Actually,
I
I
do
think
too.
Amber and Angela and Sarah might. There we go.
Ooh, oh!
There we go. Got it all.
Did you just? Oh,
And not and the fair Rachel as well.
Real
Yeah,
man
yeah.
of genius.
No, he actually just. Yeah, I need that.
we
there.
need that one on there. Yeah.
That's a great. So maybe the guys do the Newport Hill climb.
Girls go do Spoon River Drive.
Hold on, I got an even better idea.
We
We get
just
Gabe's.
lock them in the house and don't let them spend money.
Oh yeah, because we're not.
Isn't there a law against holding someone against their will? Okay.
He's a lawyer. He said it was okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I think we get Gabe's 1927 Chrysler Roadster ready for the hill climb,
Ooh.
and we participate in that. And you and I can jump on the back bumpers. And no, seriously, there's a purse. I think there's prize money.
I don't think you're gonna have that car going in time.
All I need to do is finish the rims, and it's basically running.
And brakes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I just have to bleed the brakes.
No, I don't believe that. But I guess
Yeah.
I like
Okay,
your optimism,
okay.
kid.
So we
I
can
like your moxie.
let's spectate this year, and then next year, Gabe.
Okay,
can
I can see that.
How much is the purse? Motivate me.
$250.
Yeah, it's a couple grand, I think. I'll have to look it up. Anyways, historic hill climbs, not that far away. I think
That's
we need
cool.
to get into that.
Yeah.
All right.
Deal?
All right. Sounds like a plan. Well, I'm glad we drummed this all up. And if you guys know anything about hill climbs or you know any great races in the United States, especially here in the Midwest, please let us know all about it. I'm not averse to going to Connecticut or Massachusetts either if I thought it was going to be
No.
a cheap imitation of the Greenland Fairlands.
Let us know. Or if you need a sponsor, info@throwinwrenches.com.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got there. Now, there's a note that got in here in
Oh,
the
yeah.
green font, so I think this comes from Gabe Casey. It's an emergency update from Myers Manx.
Yes. So I recalled about a year ago on this podcast that I put in an
That might have
early
been 2 years ago.
a reservation for the new Myers Manx EV dune buggy, and I got an email the other day that said, "I think we're going to be in production in fourth quarter 2024." So that was basically it. I just thought it was interesting. No
So
price still.
When I think we're going to be in production, is that from Mr. Manx, or who says that?
Yeah, like Dr. Manx
Oh.
or Manx Esquire. I don't know. Somebody at the company.
Mannix?
There was more pictures of the vehicle and like a couple people that worked there, and it was like a bunch of BS. And then it was like, oh yeah, fourth quarter in like a year.
This guy
over
could
a
be the
year.
next
So,
RJ Scringe. You never know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Me or him?
No, him, the guy who sent you the email, who you
I
don't know
don't
his
know.
name, because I certainly didn't know RJ's name for about. I think they were making Rivians over there before I finally remembered RJ Scaringe or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all
But
right.
it would be fun to have one of the first Manx EVs for us to go tool around in.
I think it'd be great.
That'd be cool.
Who wouldn't want a dune buggy to just tear up?
And
Yeah.
to plug in and never,
And street legal.
Yeah.
So, my kids could drive that to high school.
I really do feel
dig
like
it.
that's one of those cars you could have and you could probably flip within a year or two. And
Maybe.
it'd be just fine.
That's why I'm holding that baby.
Easily.
There's gonna be somebody in California who's dying to have it in there, and
Yeah.
be like, "There's a guy in Morton, Illinois." who got one."
This son, he was in the first 200.
Yeah, exactly. How did he get one so fast? Yeah, $20,000 over sticker.
Yeah.
What I would love is if they came out here and did all of their photography, like their ad photography, on like the Illinois River. Instead of like a California beach with like the sunset and like beach balls, it's just like some guy noodling for catfish.
No, he's getting hit in the head with an Asian carp.
Asian
There you go.
carp.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
No, they're
Beautiful.
making them in California, though.
Are
So
they?
they'll have to ship it all the way out for me. And then I'll sell it to a guy in California.
Oh, yes, exactly. That's exactly how it'll go too.
No, but I'll enjoy it for a little bit, at least,
I love it.
if I buy it.
I wish you
see.
well.
Don't hold your breath.
I'm looking forward to it too. I've been looking forward. I was actually going to ask you about it and see how it's going, but sometimes I'm afraid to ask you about stuff like that in front of your wife. So I hold.
Because I
back.
think she forgets I put a reservation in, too. Till she listens.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I love you, Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel's pretty cool.
All right, we got another a new segment here for us, Daryl.
Yeah, this is from the Everyone is Dumber Now departments. And I saw this on TikTok.
Oh, don't say
TikTok. Did you guys see the video of this?
No, I have not.
All right, so
I don't watch TikTok.
might have been on Instagram Reels a week later.
You know what? I saw it on Facebook, though.
Did you?
Yeah.
All right. So this is from an article from Car Scoops. Not sure what that is. Man damages 2,500-year-old tree by driving Nissan Armada through it. And I'll just read some highlights here. Trips into nature often inspire and leave a lasting impression long after they're over. For one ancient redwood in California, though, one Nissan driver's actions recently left a mark that nature lovers would have rather seen avoided. In fact, the move might end up being one of the driver that ends up regretting blah, 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 blah. Anyways, July 3rd, some dork.
Oh, please read off the TikTok user ID.
Okay. On July 3rd, a TikTok user at
OC Laguna.
Thank you. OC Laguna 999 posted a short clip of a person in a Nissan Armada SUV. That's the king-size SUV, which
That's
is
the big one.
Yeah, the big mamma jamma. That is trying to squeeze their large SUV through the trunk of a giant redwood tree named the Shrine. Technically, the driver succeeds in the clip, but not before knocking off the passenger side mirror and actually scraping the tree multiple times. It's one of the Shrine is one of the 3 drive-through quote unquote redwoods in the area. Everybody's seen those, right?
I didn't know they still did it though. Honestly,
I didn't either. So the dude scraped
They won't
it
for long.
They moved it. That means the tree 2,500 years old, which means it was around the same time that Pythagoras died. That's right.
Oh, yeah. When he was making his theorem.
Yeah, him and his theorem.
He got what he deserved.
Yeah. So some dude in the Nissan just damaged it. Anyways, that sucks. And so the first thing that goes through my mind is, sure, people are dumb. That's not a surprise. Anybody, I mean, we've talked before about like the people at national parks that are like kidnapping bisons and being like, it was cold. And
somebody got gored today, I think, at Yellowstone.
Yeah. There was somebody earlier this summer, same thing. They were taking like shots, like pictures.
I love it.
I was just
People
at
are
Yellowstone.
so
I
dumb.
watched the idiots out there. I was just like, please let somebody get killed.
Did you
So I
push
go-
him towards the bison?
No, I was
Like,
hoping. I mean, I was videoing.
Let me
it,
help you,
just
Darwin.
Yeah.
Unreal.
See, the thing is, though, about the redwoods, this is probably on private property. This is probably it's like a farm park here in Central Illinois. You can pet the goats. This guy probably has redwoods that lets people drive through.
Yeah.
It's illegal to cut down these trees. They're protected by law. I would think that even though this guy's on private property, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And even if it's a state park or something like that, somebody from some agency is going to be like, well, this is damaging now to the trees, and these are federally protected, and now we're not going to let that happen anymore.
And that's what I said. So I'm like, can you still legally like drive through some of these stupid trees?
When I was at Yosemite a couple of years ago, they had the remnants of one of those trees, and it was still there with the cutout, and it had a picture of like a Model T going through it.
Yeah.
But the road was blocked off. They didn't allow it anymore.
So I did a little bit of Googling, and it turns out you still can, including this exact tree, if you go to visitredwoods.com /listing/drive through a redwood, you can actually drive through this one. And it is...
Is it a private company then?
I believe it is. It is the...
Humboldt, California Redwood Coast. Okay.
Yeah. So it's the Shrine drive-through tree. And it's funny because on the website, it's got a guy on like a Dyna Wide Glide or something.
Yeah.
A Harley riding through it. No problem. Not a 6,000-pound SUV. And the thing is, Model Ts, even like I've got one of a 47 Chevy driving through it because it looks like the one that we have. I'm like, oh, it's a cool picture. Way smaller than a Nissan Armada. So like people are A, dumb. B, also somebody's making money on this. But how long before something like this gets canceled, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think?
Let me ask you a question. You ever been through a drive-through, like, I don't know, a Taco Bell drive-through?
Just tonight?
It's not
Just
the same,
tonight?
Not the same.
Well, you know how they have the little
Maybe.
bar over the drive-through where you order?
Yeah.
That lets you know if you're going to hit the building?
Yeah.
Why couldn't they just build the metal bar the shape and size of the tree before the tree
That would be aesthetically pleasing.
to let you know, way before, in the line, to let you know if you can fit through the tree?
Because then when it damaged somebody's car, they'd complain.
Well, they have the choice to drive through it or not.
Good call, though.
Seriously.
It would almost be like you must be this tall to ride this
Yes,
ride.
you must be this small to drive the tree.
I like it.
That's a good idea.
It's so easy. It's $300 a steal.
Do you want us to delete this from the show so you can contact them?
No, they won't pay me.
Just gave him an idea.
I'm full of good ideas I'll never use. So
Seriously,
have
just-
them.
That's your gift to the world?
Yeah, have my crap ideas that nobody will ever use.
I honestly think if you sold that to them, they'd be like, "Yeah, that's a really good idea."
Why didn't we think of this before?
Yeah.
I got 3 poles.
Or like the airport, they have the thing for your baggage.
Yeah,
like if
they
it
don't
doesn't
just tell you good luck, go on the plane and try to shove it in there.
Well, no. That's the way they can charge you more. They're going to charge you more for going through the tree if your car's bigger. So
maybe they could do that.
they could do that. Speaking of other good ideas, though, did you see this next article? And I didn't realize we were going to get back into the news here real quick.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
This is from CBS News. Let's throw it in here real quick.
Yeah, real quick.
A Florida bill allowing radioactive roads is made potentially cancer-causing mining waste will be signed by Governor Ron DeSantis. Florida Governor and presidential hopeful Ron DeSantis signed a bill Thursday that would allow the roads across Florida to be made with radioactive mining waste. The measure, brought forward by the state house, adds phosphogypsum to the list of recyclable materials that the state says can be used for road construction. The list already includes ground rubber from car tires, ash residue from coal combustion byproducts, recycled mixed plastic, glass, and construction steel, which officials had previously determined are part of the solid waste stream that contribute to the problems of declining space in landfills. So, what do you think about that, guys?
Garbage roads that are now radioactive.
Yeah, it's one of those things. That's like, okay, it's not like we're throwing Chernobyl into the blacktop and mixing it up, but it's slightly a little bit maybe radioactive.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things. Like if it has to be stored in a separate landfill and handled uniquely. Why is it okay to just like throw it in the road?
I just feel like
mix?
you have a controlled amount of people actually applying that to the roadways.
Probably.
So the grinding and the moving and the installing, the heating and pushing and padding and all that stuff. There's going to be a certain labor group that probably has a higher cancer risk later on. Wouldn't you think?
Maybe 100.
100%.
I like those
The
odds.
emoji. I'm sorry, I just responded with an emoji.
yeah.
100.
Yeah.
No, the thing, and I get back to China. Not to be that guy, but like I get back, like that's something you hear China do, where they take like fly ash from incinerators and they throw them in like styrofoam, and then we don't care, we don't think about it, but they're getting rid of their quote unquote toxic waste, and they're putting into things like rubber. I mean, I've ordered floor mats before from questionable places.
Wish.com.
Maybe.
Is there an addendum on them?
And
don't eat.
And like there was a bubble in one of them, and I like picked at it, and like a piece of rusty metal came out of it.
Stop it.
No, I'm 100% serious.
You didn't lick it, did you? Don't
No,
lick it.
but I went back to him like, "What's up
Did
with
you get
these?"
one of those seed packs from China a couple years ago? Did you plant them?
No, but I know people who did.
What?
That was the thing.
That was not a real thing.
I swear to God, it was.
That was an internet scam.
No,
that
it's-
didn't happen.
All right.
What are we doing?
No, it's true.
Pick
Anyways,
your conspiracy. That's what this segment's called.
scary, slippery slope, whatever you want to use.
All right. You want to do are we ready for him? For the Gabe intro?
I think so.
All right.
I think so. Hold on here.
I'm just a soundbite at this point.
Are you? I think you're more than that. Is it that time?
It's that time.
It's time for your moment of mo.
All right. If you've been following Twitter at all this last week, are you still on Twitter or are you guys on Threads? Threads?
Both.
Never
Threads?
been.
Oh, my God. Mark Zuckerberg looks ripped in a photo of UFC champs as Aussie tips Zuck on how to beat Elon Musk. Watch out, Elon Musk. Zuck means business. Meta boss Mark Zuckerberg has been training and is training the house down, judging by a photo by tech guru and UFC champions Israel Adesanya and Alex Volkanovski. I guess these guys with names like that, they must be really tough. On Wednesday, Adesanya posted photos of Zuckerberg training with 2 UFC teammates, and it's safe to say the Facebook boss is looking in great shape. No fugazi with Mark. This is serious business, said Adesanya. Zuckerberg commented on Instagram, "It's an honor to train with you guys." It's unclear when the photo was taken, if they were in Los Angeles last week, but he was defending his featherweight title against Yair Rodriguez. Elon had a quote, and he posted on his favorite social media outlet, Twitter, "Zuck the cuck."
What?
That is your moment of Musk.
So many questions right now.
Yeah, but what's your Threads handle? That's my first question.
It's at Throwin Wrenches.
Okay, just checking.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Actually, it made me reset all of my Meta passwords.
What?
Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
Oh.
I might have also gotten taken over by some sort of
Bot.
cyber terrorist. It's fine. But you know what? The question I have is, why do billionaires, they go one of two ways. They seem they either get really involved in wackadoodle hobbies like going to space, or going like under the sea, or like some just weird
Down
stuff.
where it's better.
Downwards,
yeah.
Oh, they're wetter.
Take it from me. Or they get really into like fitness and they start just doing weird stuff where they just like Zuckerberg looks like how everybody in middle age should like aspire to look. Like he's cut. He's got like a little bit of a 6-ish pack.
Like maybe he's been doing hymns.
Maybe
Hashtag sponsor.
maybe some testosterone replacement therapy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But whatever he's doing, it looks good. But what's he really doing there?
So you have all the money in the world, and you can do anything. Did you ever watch Friends back in the day? Mm-hmm. Do you remember when Monica dated Jon Favreau? And he's like,
God,
I won't quit until I'm the ultimate fighting champion. And he just got his ass kicked over and over.
Just got beat.
Yeah, but like, what are you going to do? Like, they got all the time to train. They want to be tough. Like, they want to achieve more because they've achieved so much. Can't stop.
I guess.
So
We'll never know this privilege.
yeah.
But he's still got that face, right?
He does.
What's
He's
up with his
like
neck,
that, like
though?
that? I want to punch you face.
Did you look at his neck?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Do you remember the whole video a couple years ago? Where he's like, "I'm here."
Where's a lizard person?
Well, yeah, there's that. But the whole he's like,
Game
I'm,
with those seeds.
I'm sitting here with my sweet baby Ray smoking these meats. Do you remember that?
No.
I
He was-
kind of remember that.
He got a Traeger.
That was
or something.
during COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, he got
everybody-
a smoker. And
Quarantine.
he was so obsessed with it. He's like, I'm just here with my friends having some drinks and smoking these meats. And it was like watching a robot pretend to be a human. So imagine watching like UFC and like Joe Rogan and Dana White are doing the commentary like, oh, we're here in the octagon, whatever. And he's just like, yeah, I'm just here to like fight my opponent and punch him in the face.
I'm here to fight Elon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is going on?
He's not happy.
Yeah, he's
that's
not.
the end
He's
of the story.
Definitely not fulfilled.
No.
Is he still married?
You
It
know,
doesn't
I don't
matter.
I don't hear anything. You know, it's
You
like
don't.
no, even Elon's girlfriends and stuff like that, or Bill Gates's ex-wives stuff. I mean, they all get some press.
Yeah.
Zuck's she's either hiding or
In the ground.
right.
She might be like
She might be in the metaverse.
She might be.
Maybe she never existed.
That's what he called. We're going to send this one to the metaverse.
Maybe.
That's his code.
Maybe. I say that to say this: women or significant others of any persuasion, check on you guys. Because if guys are
Buddy
left
check.
alone, do like a buddy check. Exactly. If guys with too much money are left alone, and they just have like random ideas in their heads, you might want to just kind of help rein them in.
They might secretly try to be a fighting champion.
Like
That's where they're going to. No. Come on.
start a UFC career. No, just rein. The guys need a chaperone. Guys need a buddy. Guys need some
adult supervision.
Yes, yes. Just check on your boy. Okay, that's all I got to say.
All right, we ready? Ready to move on here?
I think
Are we
so.
gonna do the?
This is like a 3-hour show.
It
by
is.
the way.
It is. That's
Sorry.
okay. We're making up for lost time. So
bet.
hope you enjoy it, everybody.
So wait. Nobody wants to grind gears?
There's. I
Just,
mean, there
just
is-
me?
Do you have something?
He does. He said.
I wanted to grind gears. Nobody else wants to do that?
No, go for it.
Let's
Do
do
we?
it.
do it.
All right. Somebody intro it.
What? Really?
Do you have a grind gear song?
So we do. No, we don't have a song, but every once in a while
You should make a song. Sing, Daryl. Sing.
we should. Just grinding
You're gonna-
gears.
you're gonna have that guitar going, man.
It's terrible. No, every once in a while somebody gets some sand stuck in their craw or some, sand in the gearbox, and it makes a grinding noise, to which this segment lends itself to the title, Grinding of the Gears.
All right.
And Gabe, I think you're the person who has submitted some topic of discussion, something that's stuck in your craw
Yeah.
recently.
I feel like I dropped
so-
the ball on that song.
A couple times, there's been grinding the gears segment and nothing's been written under it. And tonight there was no segment, and so I added it.
Thank
Do
you.
it.
Because,
You wanted a 4-hour show.
no, yeah, it'll be 10 minutes. So here's the deal. So bicycle hand signals. when you learn
Yeah.
to ride a bicycle as a child, they teach you how to signal with your left arm, right? And you do
Kind of, yeah.
you do the out, you do the up, you do the left turn, right turn, you do the stop.
Sure.
It's literally 3 signals.
I don't think kids in Peoria County probably learn those like you did in
We're not
Tazewell.
judging Peoria County.
Okay, I'm just saying. I think you got a privileged youth, but anyway.
Okay. So the upper crust of society learns how to use bikes.
Yes.
I will agree
But-
with that statement. 100%.
But here's the deal: like a lot of people bike on the roads now, and like they're riding like high expensive road bikes. They're going to places, they're like they have the helmets. They're professional level, and I ride a vintage motorcycle without turn signals.
Yeah.
So I have recalled my bicycle signals, and I use them while I'm riding.
Are they exactly the same between bicycles and motorcycles?
Why wouldn't it be?
I'm just wondering. I'm asking the question.
I don't know.
Okay.
Why? What else would it be?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Okay.
But I use them.
I mean, you guys have like all these different waves to people and bikes coming at you, like
Yeah.
your Beamer friends.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's the
I mean,
Harley
How
Raven.
can
Yeah.
I keep track if you're just like
You know-
waving to a buddy or actually doing a bike signal?
Because the hand is out
point.
or over, but not down. But that's not the point. But the thing I thought was funny and sad is that I ride a vintage motorcycle and my hand signals are what they should be.
Yeah.
And people that ride bicycles, they just freaking point. They're just like, I'm going over here. And then they cruise off. And they've got a nice bike and a helmet.
They're phoning it in.
Like, take the 5 minutes to learn bicycle hand signals. Like, it's more dangerous for you than me.
This is anything though. This is
Yeah.
off-roading. This is when you're at the track or you're out. I mean, this is just take the time to learn the signals. Mm-hmm. Yeah, people just
Yeah.
want to show up and do their own thing.
I just thought it was sad.
I paid
for the-
$2,000 for an e-bike, and I'm going to do whatever I want.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
they get hit because they didn't
Pointing-
know they're going left
Exactly.
or right.
Pointing doesn't work. There's and really what you said was right. There's four signals, right?
So
Isn't there 3?
there's right,
Left,
there's
right, and
left.
stop.
What's stop?
Stop is the fist.
That's the fist.
So left is a straight out flat.
Uh-huh.
Right is an up and flat,
Right.
and stop is an up and fist.
Man,
And
there's
that's it.
somebody. How many people are driving without prescription lens? They can't tell the difference between a hand up and a fist.
That's, by the way, when I'm helping somebody back a trailer or helping my wife back like a giant old car, I do that, and she's like, "What? I don't know what that is."
Yeah, the fist means stop. Yeah.
What are you grabbing?
Yeah,
It's back there.
It's like, are you having a stroke?
Do you smell toast?
Yeah.
No, there's also this,
Yeah.
which looks
Which
like you're
means
fanning
Go away.
fanning some fumes from your.
He's flapping next to his body with
Right.
a limp wrist.
That's it's like caution or slow down.
I
or-
don't know that one.
Yeah,
but
there is.
okay.
I'm going to go to the rules of the road.
I actually have a
book.
brake light, so I don't use that one.
No, it's like the caution, like some stuff's going down, but it looks
Okay.
like you're fanning a fart. Is really what that looks like. It looks terrible. I'm sorry. This
Okay, that's a great
Yeah.
grinding of the gears.
That's all I need.
All right,
I'm
all right.
good.
People
I'll
suck,
pass on
and
the
Gabe
second.
just wants to let you all know about. it.
wait. Do people suck or cyclists? Do we want to?
What about this this mailer thing you got? This is.
It's annoying. I wasn't gonna. So you get these
I
mailers
thought
from
you came
dealerships.
with like a
I got it in the mail today, and I've gotten these before.
Yeah.
And they're like, you could win a prize from a dealership and pull these
this
things.
came in the mail?
Yeah, pull these things or
What-
scratch
what
these things off.
demographic group are you in that you're getting?
No, I got the same
double
thing.
blackjack.
Yeah.
I got the
so
same thing.
I didn't get this
my big issue
from
is
Roanoke Ford.
They
Dude, you
ch-
know how much Roanoke paid for this thing?
like $5.
Oh, yeah,
Total?
probably.
A lot.
Not for that, but I mean like in total for the whole campaign, $5.
No. So just a postcard by itself is like 85 cents.
And this is a pull tab.
This pull
and
tab, a bingo ticket on top of a full-page color mailer, double-sided.
Yeah.
fold out.
I mean, yeah, this could literally be $5 per piece that went out.
I hope
So-
it costs him $5.
So the premise is what? You pull the pull tabs and you play some game like you're playing a lotto ticket and you're supposed to win a car or money.
Yeah.
Right?
So here's what bothers me about this. They have a little chart that shows based on what you pull, what you win.
Yeah.
It says this, win.
Ooh.
And then next to it, but slightly off, is the prize.
Okay.
But if you look under the pull tabs, it says corresponding match, whatever.
You got the $5. You got the jack.
no, keep going.
Oh, they
Does-
got to match each other.
does not equal what you get. You have to go in to see what you win. So they trick you into thinking you get $500 or $1,000 or win a car, but you never basically, in fact, win that.
See-
read that little square right here, the white square.
What? Oh.
Right.
Confirmation codes determine prize awarded. Order of winning symbols does not match order of winning prize.
So they have a poll tab for winning symbols, and they have a thing that says what the winning symbols mean, and then it says it doesn't matter.
So we got identification traced 37 Pack 2. It's marked on there, too. I'd be interested to know what yours is, Daryl, if it's the same one.
Well, I actually won't be able to tell you because I threw it the F out before anybody in my household got wise.
The interesting thing about this is, in this day and age, we don't really need to advertise to sell cars. We certainly don't need to advertise. We don't need to spend. God knows what they spend this campaign, $20,000, and
I bet it was like 2.
I hope.
And this is probably an insurance policy. They probably didn't give out that $20,000, but this could be a $25,000 campaign when it's all over. But why are they spending this money? Are they sitting on a ton of truck inventory or something? I'd love to go
That's
by
what
their
it
store.
is. That it has to be that.
Yeah.
And if you do any kind of quasi lottery, you have to have, what is it?
I don't want it. Get it out of my yard.
There used to be 3 rules for lotteries. For at least for nonprofits, it was like no cost, consideration. It was like cost, consideration, and something else, a chance. And it was basically like it's a game of chance, and you literally have to have some sort of, like wheel you spun and randomly spit out a name or whatever. That's weird because there's all kinds of like legalese at the bottom, and it's like, yeah, whatever we send doesn't really matter because it's just bizarre.
It's like the key.
But it tricks you. It tricks you into thinking you've won, so you'll go in.
Yeah.
But literally, like, you don't know if you've won until you go in.
It's like a timeshare advertisement.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, and you wind up leaving with like an AM/FM stereo cassette player. You're like, thanks.
Or less. Or a free weekend at one of the timeshares.
It's 2023. I got a GPX cassette player.
And I had to spend 2 hours talking to somebody who I didn't want to talk to in the first place.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just find it interesting that they're marketing that hard on something like that. I feel like you don't have to spend money on advertising.
So hypothetically, again, and no shade to our friends at Roanoke Ford, but
this is stupid. Go on.
It a little bit. And then also, what vehicles aren't selling that they need to move?
They've got like a Jeep Cherokee on the back. They've got like used cars on the back.
Oh, so it might be used inventory.
I don't know. It's weird.
Is the used market, by the way, segue, is the used market whack still, or is it okay?
I don't know. We've sold a bunch of cars. I was interested to see when I drove it. I'd been gone for a while, and I saw we're down to like 10 cars in the used car lot, which is shocking to me.
Yeah.
We've been sitting on a lot of, I would consider dead inventory for a long time, but a lot of it's been moving. So I don't know if that's an indicator that prices are still high and people still need cars, or we're just not getting trade-ins, or what. Something's going on. So
yeah.
But everybody's been fearful that people bought too high. Some of these dealerships, the mega dealerships around here, they were buying tons and tons of cars at sale willy-nilly because the books didn't matter.
Right.
Are they stuck? Are they stuck? Yeah.
Yeah.
So for
their floor plans might be insane.
Their $4 million they made last year, they're going to lose $1 million this year in inventory write-offs. Who knows? So
yeah.
If this was 1988 and I could go sweep some really cool used cars, be great. But I bet you if I went to Roanoke Ford and I walk that used car lot, it'd be like a 2002 Escape with 187,000 miles on it. And be like, I'm good.
For $79.95.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or like a 2005 Focus station wagon or something. Like, I'm good.
Actually, the wagon would be cool.
And the wagons were cool. Best, but
wagons
honestly,
are cool.
Not only were they cool, but the wagons of all the early like first gen Focuses, best weight distribution.
Oh,
and folks like Tim Moyer and others could probably back me up on that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Go autocross them.
Yeah, for real. I'm surprised
he's
why
the Jake Irish of Ford Focuses.
I'm surprised nobody's
the Jake Irish of Ford Focuses. What does that mean?
That's our next T-shirt. Honestly, autocrosses. I need to get out. At least I need to dip my toe in that as well.
We need to make that just to say. Yeah, he's the Jake Irish.
It made no sense, but it makes sense if you know the situation. All right, all right. So
is it? Hold on a second.
I've been dreaming, and I've been thinking. So I had this plan in my mind. I'm like, everything's gone to hell. What I'm going to do? I'm going to get a giant military truck, and I'm going to drive over society, and I'm going to let everybody know. You know what?
Just start running over stuff.
That bulldozer with the metal plates.
That's good. Killdozer be good.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. But then I thought, you know what? It's not really practical. Fuel economy really sucks. So why don't I go the complete opposite direction? And why don't I try out a news site? Why don't I go to barnfind.com? Barnfind actually had some cool stuff. I found a duck, a military duck, but it wasn't for sale. It was already just sold. So
I'm really concerned by it. Go ahead. I'm really concerned right now.
Red flags.
Yeah. I was going to say, you guys want to go boating in my duck? And then we could all die on a lake together. But instead, I kept flipping through the pages of barnfind.com. And what do I find? I find a Rizioer. I don't even know what a Rizior is.
No. Did you make that up?
No, I didn't make it up. But
That's
I'm
a real
telling you,
thing.
Cars of the Week is a segment where we find a car that we've always been dreaming of, or that we didn't even know we needed.
Yeah.
And then we tell you guys all about it. And I found the Rizior with 500 miles on it. And guess what, guys? It's just outside of Norway.
Wait, it's just outside of
It's
Norway.
located-
Outside of Norway.
Its vehicle is located
jump.
south of Norway. Anyway, this cute little car, this Trident with the production equipment, was bought from the factory in the Isle of Man in the middle of the late 60s. The idea was to produce a car and a vehicle in Norway. The project failed, however.
Wah, wah.
The Trident was in some use in the 60s and 70s, but for the last 40 years, it's been standing dry in a barn and without being run. The engine does not start now due to the long standstill. There's a small crack in the body due to a tilt from many years ago. I don't know what a tilt is, but this car literally looks like a bumper car from your local amusement park.
It does.
That somebody took like a glass shield and just put over the roof, so that way you could drive it out in the rain. It looks like it's 3 wheels. It kind of looks like one of those little BMW,
Isettas?
front loader cars.
Like a.k.a. the Steve Urkel car?
Yeah, but even smaller than that. So it's only $40,000. And I'm sorry, it's not the Ricer. It's located in Rysor, and it is the Trident.
Oh.
Doesn't run
sorry.
$40,000 in Norway.
It's Cars of the Week, and I thought, you know what? People tell me all the time that I only look at trash, so I classed up.
This is expensive trash.
Who tells you that, by the way?
Everybody says I don't dream big enough.
We're just saying he's too practical with what he picks.
Yeah,
he
so
doesn't
I'm-
pick nice
So
stuff.
from
he
now
picks
on,
like, oh, I could maybe.
from now on, I'm just going to pick out expensive garbage. It's Cars of the Week. I'll do what I want.
I like your style.
Yeah, and you know what? I haven't dreamed very much lately about a fun car.
Yeah.
That's
Would you-
not true.
hang
That's
on.
not true. There
Would
was
you have fun in this though? Look at this car.
You know
and
what?
picture yourself driving
this gets into my narcissism thing. Look at me. Look at me. Everybody. I want attention.
Sure.
Yeah, and with that glass roof, everybody's gonna have to look at me.
Yeah. Because
I'd get it tinted.
I get a sunburn just driving around.
you said it looks like a carnival or bumper car.
Yeah.
It looks worse than that. What it actually looks like, and we'll put a
Maybe the Tilt-A-Whirl, like the Tilt-A-Whirl lost one of the cars
Oh,
and
it
like flew
does.
off.
yeah.
The bubble in the tilt-a-whirl.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It even looks. Do you remember? Did any of you have like the grocery store with like the car out front? You put a quarter in, you ride around in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this looks like.
Well, you know
It's
what?
gross. It might be the worst pick you've ever made,
And you know what?
and I say that out of love, my friend.
I love how much we're ragging on Eric.
Yeah, because it looks like something he would never be caught dead in, but like there's also some sadistic joy that he would have of like everybody being forced with his plexiglass bubble top
Do you know what?
to look at him go.
I almost
Down the
want
street.
us to like sell stuff and
Yeah.
buy this and give it to him
And make him
and
daily
force
it?
him to drive it.
Yeah, you have to drive
How
that
would
daily
you feel?
for a year.
Oh, a year? I'd die first off. Allentown Road, I would die
Of
Yeah,
embarrassment?
no, just I would get run over by something. Yeah, even somebody biking down the street might kill me.
A possum.
He was killed by a bicyclist and a raccoon
Yeah,
from the McNairs.
Exactly.
No, this thing's hilarious. So a Trident, and it's a Norwegian failure.
Well,
Great, got it.
It's located south of Norway, in Rizior.
But it is cool. It's like a pre-production or early production car.
Yeah.
It's unique.
Yeah.
And I don't want it.
All right, there you go.
Good call.
But first, okay,
Do you?
okay. I picked mine. I think I had my car of the week up first,
Yeah.
did.
and then whatever this aberration is in teal showed up. So I don't want
You
to
know
hear any
what?
crap.
You know what?
Let's go.
Actually, I
Daryl.
think Daryl loses worst.
Really? Yes.
Yeah, let's move
Yeah,
on.
let's go. Let's
Okay.
go, Daryl.
All
Let's
right.
Put the
explain,
pressure- let's put the-
explain this thing.
Turn the heat up.
All right, so hear me out. My pick this week is a 1976 Volkswagen Beetle. I believe that is the Super Beetle era. It might not be. Who cares? Anyways, it is.
Have you seen The Elephant Man?
I have.
Go on.
I am not the Nanamoo.
It's the John Merrick of Beatles.
Yep.
This is listed in Facebook Marketplace. A shout out to my friend Brent Rassi who sent this to me. I think he sent it in like one of those, hey, this is kind of cool late night tax. Like, check this out on Facebook Marketplace. It's billed as a 1990s show car in parentheses. And whatever I hear, like this used to be a show car, or you read in the description, won many awards or award winner, and you're like, yeah, I don't like that was a long time ago. Also, the 90s people did a lot of drugs. So this is a 76 Beetle. It's done in like a teal, like a 1992 like Camaro RS teal, right? Or a Pontiac.
You're making this
Sunbird
sound
teal.
so good. Just spit it like it is.
I wouldn't call it teal. I mean, yeah, it's definitely like a turquoise color.
Yeah. Yeah, it has
with
some
pink pinstripes.
pink pinstripes.
Just get to how it's bad.
Very 90s. Here's the killer. Okay, it has these weird like Baja kind of front end and rear end, like front and rear fenders, a Porsche faux 911 whale tail spoiler, and then the front has what looks like it was stolen from a carnival ride, some sort of bumper that doesn't match the lines of the car, and then it has these Frenched rectangular headlights with these visors.
The chrome visor. I was going to comment on this. Those scream almost like truck and stuff. Like
yes,
yeah, I went to AutoZone and I found these visors for the headlights.
It's so bad. It's so bad. So okay, and if he's listening, I love you, brother. We'll hang out soon. But Brent's like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "I think this is terrible." ... And then I see him start typing a response, and then I'm like, "But I kind of like it."
And I'm going to pick it for my car of the week.
I did. The interior alone, by the way, this is horrendous, and whoever did this customization needs to be brought to justice. But 100 horsepower build, 90s build, garage/trailer queen is what the description says. Runs, drives, excellent. Everything works as it should. Please call.
Yeah, they never drove because they didn't want to be seen in it.
No, it was bad.
What's the price on this guy?
It was like $8,900 or something. It was under 10.
That's not. I mean, that's really not a bad price for a car that gets all the attention. I mean, that would get a lot of attention.
And that's what I told him.
I'm sorry. Are you a child that wants negative attention?
No, I mean, I'm paying $40,000 and going to Norway and shipping a car.
Right.
You ain't going nowhere.
Now, granted, the shipping cost for my car will be very cheap. I imagine I could ship a toaster oven for probably the same price, but
Probably.
yeah. But I don't know, $8,900 for that paint job alone looks like it's worth probably $2,000
Easily,
Yeah.
maybe more. And that's what the interior's clean.
And the wheels. I mean, God, those wheels are probably worth $2,000.
I'm really concerned about both of you.
No, I'm just looking at the now the addition of the 5 mile per hour
wrong?
bumpers on there, and that's worth nothing. But the chrome
no, it's
covers.
it's
This
definitely
is the
questionable.
ugliest Beetle I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it is. But
Ever?
Hold on. If you guys, all three of us here, if we all walked upon this at a Cars and Coffee or a local show, would you look at it and talk about it and take pictures of it?
I take a picture of it.
Laughing and mockingly, yes. Is that what you want?
You're just a horrible person.
Mission,
Look at it!
Mission accomplished.
You're like Seinfeld.
Mission
It's the car face that only a mother could love.
Car face.
All right.
Car face. I like that.
Okay, so clearly not getting any love. Gabe, what did you wind up choosing for your car of the week? Because
Such a safe bet, Gabe.
I liked it. I literally found this today.
Well, yeah, who wouldn't want this?
It popped up on my Facebook feed today. I didn't even seek this out. Seriously.
Well, yeah, because this is the kind of crap you look at all day.
No, it's the kind of crap that my algorithm sends me.
Yeah, see, I went outside the algorithm. I went outside the matrix.
He took a risk.
and-
It was a bad choice.
And Brent
thought-
Rassey's matrix, I don't know what shows up on that thing.
I mean, he and I have the same matrix, though, because we'll send each other random stuff. We're like, yeah, seen it already, bought it. Anyways.
Bought it twice, hated it, bought it third time.
It's so bad.
All right, so you're starting a lawn business, right, Gabe?
No, it's a 97 Toyota Toyo Ace, which I'd never heard of. And it's a quad cab pickup from Japan, right-hand drive, and it's $13,499 on Facebook Marketplace. So about
Where's she at? Where's she located?
South Carolina.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What year?
90,000 miles, 97. It's a quad cab, 3L diesel, 5-speed manual, 2-wheel drive, drop side bed. It's a dually. It's a legit little truck.
Oh, it is.
It's got a nice interior. It's got like leathery snakeskin seats on it. Mm-hmm. It looks nice. It's a pretty blue. Like, I liked it. It's not overly priced. If I had the money and had space for
You
it,
have the money. You have the money, and you have
no,
the
I
space
don't.
for
I
it.
spend all my money.
Okay.
That's fine.
Are you kidding me?
I'm trying to copy that address, but it's not working. Cause
I got it. It's absolutely beautiful.
No, it's a clean looking truck. They probably imported it, recently because of the 25-year rule. It reminds me of like all the Landcruiser fire trucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you took off the fire truck bed and put like a nice flat bed on it, it'd be really cool. But it's got drop side bed on it. which is similar to my Coney, but this would just be like more utilitarian. But I could take the kids to school in it. I could haul stuff in the back. It'd be really cool.
It's a good size.
Yeah.
The cab's good. A 3-liter. I'm thinking it's probably what inline 6.
I'm guessing that the engine's a dog. To be honest, the Toyota diesels, I think they're reliable, but they don't have a lot of power. So without a turbo.
No, it's probably 100 horsepower.
Yeah. But it'd be fun to toot around town. You know, you could do some work in it. You can haul the kids.
Exactly.
It's cute.
Exactly. And the bed is, I love the utility beds.
With the flip down sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're loading and unloading a truck, there's nothing worse. And again, I love my Tundra. I love it. And I've got a topper on it, which kind of ruins some stuff. But just how high the bed sides are, like loading and unloading stuff, like blows.
I wonder what the logic was on that. We went from shallow beds and all those trucks going up through the 80s and the 90s, and then all of a sudden everything's like 2.5 foot tall. Mm-hmm. It's like near impossible to reach in there. I can't even imagine being a short person or a woman in this world with a truck.
No, unless you have like step sides or what do you call them?
But even with that, it's awkward.
Yeah.
You're stepping up.
Yeah, because generally you're carrying a load.
Yeah.
So you have like your foot on this little rinky-dink step trying to load. Mm-hmm. This thing, it's like you drop it, you unload it, and you just get it done.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like, I don't know, say loading or unloading rims and tires for a 27 Chrysler. It'd just be more accessible if you
or
had
stuff
this.
in an estate sale.
Right. I think $13,499 for something like this. It's only got 89,000 miles, and on a Toyota diesel, that's probably, I'd say you get another 300 on the clock, easy, without much maintenance.
Yeah.
And you're a diesel guy now, Gabe. You're kind of an expert on them. So
I mean, I own them, but I can't work on them.
But you don't have to, really.
Yeah.
Right?
But no, it was cute. I liked it. Yeah.
I think that's a great buy.
Hey, I found it. Oh, they got a little video. Look at that.
Yeah. It's a bad video, though.
I just wonder why. See, what happens is I think sometimes people buy these things online, and then they get them home and they realize, oh, this isn't like a lot of work. It's not as much fun to drive as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Don't you think? I mean, do you think the guy bought it just to enjoy it for a week or two and then flip it?
Windows
He probably
10
just
today.
imported to flip it. Yeah.
Here's the video. Oh, he was talking a second ago.
Yeah, he just kind of mutters a little.
I want to hear him. I want to hear what kind of man buys
He's got the
this.
headache rack.
Yeah. Crew cab.
Yeah.
That engine under the seats
Truck
tonight.
is clean.
Truck is clean.
It's like all he says.
That's it.
It's the worst
Oh, he's got
video.
two. He has more than one of these things.
Yeah, I'm sure he bought a couple over and imported them. He's trying to make a buck. He probably paid
I like the regular cab better.
$6,000. But with kids, it'd be nice to have the dual.
That's true. That's true.
I could drop them off at school in it, and people would be like, "What?"
What?
They
Dude.
love the right-hand drive to begin with.
Yeah, I thumbs up for me. I think Eric.
I feel like you guys really jumped the shark today on your
this
picks.
So this is a warm-up show. It's kind of like it reminds me of Daryl and I's first or second show. You know, I had to get back in the way.
Is it that
Back in
bad?
yeah, right.
It's not that bad.
No, that first one.
You
that
don't
was
have
rough.
that far
That was
to
rough.
fall.
That sucked. Let's go back and erase that.
No, let's not.
Let's do like Disney and just edit our history.
There you go.
Just
Yeah,
be like,
whitewash
get all those-
the
we
whole
never
thing.
said that.
Get all those
Yeah.
racial slurs out of there.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
definitely.
Like Disney.
Right. It's the Song of the South episode. No, just kidding. No, this has been fun. It's been a while. We're gonna get back in the saddle here, and
Been a while.
appreciate everybody just kind of hanging with us, rolling with us, and just being flexible. Life on life's terms, right?
Yeah,
It happens.
We are at the mercy of whatever's thrown at us, unfortunately. So
Like the wrenches.
Yeah.
yes,
Exactly.
Yes, you can dodge a ball, you can dodge a wrench. Can't dodge life, though, unfortunately. So thanks, guys, for holding everything together and inviting me back to the show. I appreciate that.
Hey, you're welcome.
I'll allow it.
In the meantime, how can folks get a hold of us?
Info at Throwin Wrenches will get it done, or you can check out all the socials at Throwin Wrenches. That mostly gets you Daryl's accounts.
And
But,
on threads.
Yeah.
and threads, man. All the hot threads are happening at Planet Stall.
We need to start uploading stuff to YouTube. YouTube is huge right now.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this or not. I have no internet.
We can do it at my house, but you got to help.
Okay.
I have YouTube.
We can do that.
I
Come
do
over
so.
one day, just blitz it.
Yeah.
Upload our entire archive to YouTube.
That's a good idea. I like it.
We should do that.
Shorts. Do lots of YouTube shorts.
I like that. With
Yeah.
just some greatest hits.
Tight shorts.
There's
Wait.
some tight,
Tight jean shorts.
Tight
Wait,
jeans.
what?
Magnum PI shorts.
Oh, gross. Gross.
Ferrari, though.
That Ferrari 3 is still pretty legit.
They had a whole scene where they drove that Ferrari with Phil Collins song over it.
Yeah.
That was the whole scene. They did nothing. I loved it.
It's good stuff. You know what? Everybody needs a Ferrari 308 GTS.
And Phil Collins.
And you should
Yes.
probably bid on one, Gabe.
You
next
should.
Time.
Why
I'll
don't you-
lose by $100.
No. I was going to say, we've got the greatest solution for you. Bid 200 over, and you're always going to win.
Yes, exactly.
200,000 over?
No.
I've seen a couple knockoff Ferraris too. You'd look good in a knockoff.
I don't
Ferrari.
want a Fiero.
Fiero.
Ferrari.
Yeah, that would be gross.
Ugh.
All right, let's all buy kit cars next summer. Let's
Yes.
do that.
All right.
All right.
Thanks again for having me on the show. Look us up at info@throwinwrenches.com. Send us a message. Send us a review. A review would be like, it would warm my heart. The cockles of my heart would be warmed.
And there's nothing our listeners want more than Eric's warm cockles. Anyways, I'm Daryl Scott.
I'm Eric Stahl.
And I'm Gabe Casey.
See you next time. Whoa, driving me crazy. Getting a lady. I don't know the words to the song. Oh.